Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of Too Many Twenties, the game where a bunch of actors decide we know how Dungeons & Dragons works, and then hopefully we roll not too many 20s. Okay, so, again, introductions, just to make sure that everybody knows who everybody is at the table.
Alec Jordan, Tim, the Total Barbarian.
I'm Daniel, I am playing Kiboy. He is a cleric dwarf who... Well, he's not dead at the moment, so we're doing okay.
Give it time, give it time.
I'm Amy, I'm playing a Fire Genasi bard called Shula.
My name's Joe, I play Alison Mordekainen, the wizard.
Solid stuff. Okay, so, if we remember how the story was going last time, the party had been hired by a mysterious dwarf that went by the name of Gundren Rockseeker, who had hired them as a means to help him start a mining company in a far-off town called Phandalin. And they've encountered complications along the way in the form of goblins, wolves, bugbears, and some very tricky slopes.
Mostly slopes.
Mostly the slopes.
my god.
Oh, the slopes.
You say that, I have yet to see any slopes whilst combat.
You got to the slopes quicker,
Just the
unconscious.
water.
You just
Just
flung my
water.
unconscious body up the slope, it was fun.
Okay, so where were we? And then as they cleared the cave, finding themselves a survivor of seemingly kidnappings, Gundren's bodyguard, Sildar Hallwinter. And as they have left the cave, they have found the entire glen surrounding them coated in crows. And they've found that a particular purple man wants to have a conversation. Okay, so as you guys are a little wary seeing all these crows just not pecking, not doing anything, just sat there staring at each of you with their glassy black eyes shining in the moonlight. And you see the purple man is just stood leaning against the cave, looking at each of you, and regal clothing, gaunt jawline, quite chiseled, purple flesh, and a slicked back hair. Okay, and as all of this is happening, suddenly you see Varys take a look of fright and form into a sparrow and fly away.
Yeah,
Thanks a lot.
helpful, mate.
Does he do that often?
I don't know.
That's
I mean, Jimmy run away to that affair a few times, yes.
I didn't know that he could do that.
Neither did I.
a cowardly expression
That's
for
quite cool. Oh,
what are supposed to be heroes.
are you the purple man?
He looks at his hand.
Yes,
I go with mauve, but whatever.
What's move?
I'd say more lilac, but okay.
He's not with it, is he?
Oh, he is, he's just...
He's very friendly.
Yeah.
Friendly is fine. A dullard or an idiot, not so great.
Well, then
He
we'll
can
be
fight
alright.
though.
I think he's talking about Varys.
Alright, we'll go with that for now.
As Varys has now vacated, by the way, Mr. Wolfington has just cleared through the crowd
Thank God for that.
in seemingly fear. Just without, and
I
just
still think I'm a
run.
lot better
Quick
about
question. What time is it outside?
It's about. It is nighttime. There's bright
I
moonlight
think I asked this last
going
time.
through.
It was
Yeah, it's
night,
been through.
Moving
Yeah.
towards-
moving towards dawn.
We'd spent.
The only note I've got was I'd readied Sacred Flame, but as Varys is gone now, I can probably dispel it.
There's no need.
It's fine, our ally is gone, I'm not going to go on the guard anymore. So go this bad instead.
Okay. So as you see, the purple man, he stands and you see that part of his cloak just swishes around his ankles. There's no breeze, no nothing, but you see him still move slightly.
I think he's got gas.
Are there any symbol on his cloak? Of any
You don't
potential
make
meaning?
out any symbols.
No.
You see that there used to be what kind of emblems and such on like certain joints and everything of his personage, but you don't see anything. It seems to have been torn off.
Right.
Yeah. Does he look human apart from being purple?
You see, he is human, but you do see that there are slight, seemingly fleshy frills and like points on his face.
Okay.
They're very purple.
What, they're more purple than the
They
rest
are
of
more
it?
purple than the rest of his flesh.
Okay.
You wouldn't happen to be missing a glove, would you?
He looks down at his hands. No, I don't think I am.
Oh, well.
What's your name, sir?
My name has been lost to time, but you can call me Viridon.
Oh, hey, Vera. What can we do for you?
Nothing. You can't do anything for me, at least not at this moment. And immediately, before the conversation can carry on, he appears inches away from your face and is just looking, holding you by the head and just checking your frame. As you realise,
looking up.
oh no, he is. As you realise, he seemingly is about your height all of a sudden. And as you guys look, you see that he's floating slightly.
Okay.
Not quite what I would have decided for a hero, but I suppose you'll do.
Do for what? Pray tell Viridon.
To save Phandalin, of course.
Who's Phandalin?
Phandalin the town?
Oh.
She says, questioning.
As
You
he
were
just
we're supposed to be meeting Rockseeker. You wouldn't happen to know what happened to him, would you?
never heard of him. As he just,
Of course you
upon
haven't.
Tim's exclamation, just slaps himself in the head with slightly clawed fingers.
Oh, well, what do we gotta save it from? What's happening?
He smiles, and you see that they are slightly longer in sizes. Well, the crows seem to trust you. That's all I can say.
Seems like
Trust
the taste.
us?
They seem like the taste of us as well. Look at my ear.
They trust you to be delicious.
There we go. That's.
You're
more-
Well, I trust
yeah.
them for something. I gestured at a flame I've got bubbling around my hand.
You're just low
He
down.
looks
in
at
the
that,
pecking
and
order.
he gives you an expression almost like, try it, see what happens.
You're testing me.
I thought you didn't like killing.
He's
If I were
taunting,
testing
he's
you, I
taunting
would
and daring.
expect different results than what I know will happen.
Taunting and daring. Don't push any buttons or any flames at any crows.
Oh, fine. I dispelled the spell.
Don't worry. As he reaches down and just picks up one of the crows with a
Okay,
And
I
just-
know you didn't like to hurt
Well-
them.
and then immediately just into purple mist.
I'm not sure if that's more unsettling or less unsettling. I'm feeling quite neutral at this moment in time.
If I understood these things, I would know what was going on.
Well, that certainly makes a lot more sense than if you hadn't said anything.
What did you just do?
I mean, that's what I feel like.
You just see the purple mist is just kind of dissipated into the rest of the air.
Right, let's go to the chase. What are you doing here? What do you want with us?
I want to know what's going on. I want to know who you are to have come to this forest. We don't get a lot of outsiders, I think you'll find.
Oh well, my name's Tim, and I came here with my friend Kipoin, and with Varys, and he's a bird now. He's gone.
I
and
noticed the
And
coward.
then we met these lovely people, and they helped us, and there were some goblins, and they were not nice, and then they were nice, and then they were a bit rude, and then there was a big furry man, and he hit things, and he had cakes.
Goblins are cowardly folk.
And we've worked out that much without your help.
If I helped you, I wouldn't need to be here. I'm speaking to you because I hope that you can learn some understanding. Learn that there is a purpose here for you.
Learn that there was a purpose.
Our purpose was
I
to get
gestured to the symbols all over
town.
my robes. I think I've got my purpose.
Of course you do. I can hope that you will learn. Find out what happened here. Because I need to know. I need to know what happened here. And it would be nice if somebody knew what happened.
What do you mean, what happened?
My dear, I've been here for centuries. Not knowing my purpose. Not knowing why.
What, like stuck in the forest?
Stuck in the area. Something tells me not to leave.
Something keeps trying to make me do the opposite.
You poor, poor fool.
I know what he means though. Like you want to go somewhere, but then you're like, did I leave the fire on at home? And you know, you
I
just
don't
have
think
to
I
go
don't think
back
it's quite like that, Tim. What in a way close, but I think it's more of a would you say more of an instinct or more of a presence that with help stops you from leaving?
More a memory. Something tells me, in my mind, in my soul, not to leave. But there is something here that requires me, and something here that requires you, all of you. I'm sure. I can only assume that's why you're here.
Is that why you were following our caravan then?
Yes, I'm curious what you are. And I don't think I am in the wrong to believe that that is worth questioning.
Well, curious enough to follow us, but not to step in and try and help them.
He looks up at the sky. Let's just say there are limitations.
I'm not so sure we're going to be getting on.
To what we
I
are,
think we could all be friends, you know.
we from what I've said, we're just a simple motley crew of people who have been hired to take on a job. We are been asked to
Of course
make
you
it
have.
safe.
Why else would you be here?
And why are you asking who we are?
Because I think you have more to do here than you wish. Than just monetary gain.
What's money?
I think that's why we're here. You've got us very wrong.
Very well. I'll leave you be as you will, but I will make one simple warning. Beware the purple smoke. As you see him just turn to mist.
Is it
and
purple?
disappear. It is not that.
But
Beware the purple smoke, that's it!
But he turned the crow to purple mist.
All the crows are still there.
No, but he said he turned the crow to.
Yep.
To purple mist.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Tim doesn't remember that.
Tim's memory is wonderful.
I was just looking at the crows
So
like.
like just
Tim was
that was
actually
as he's
talking
going,
about
as he's
it
going,
when
so
that
it's like,
happened.
but what about the crow? Oh, okay, he's gone.
The crows are still there.
Yeah, no, as he's
But
gone,
he is gone.
yeah.
Faded
The
away.
same purple man
So,
that you saw.
beware the purple smoke,
Boy, how
and the
fear
crow
it
turned to
was.
purple smoke.
Just wish it had been
I-
useful.
Do you want to try it?
No, don't want to even go near him. Last time they almost took my ears.
Well, I can go near them. I haven't got any ears.
There's
Go on
a
then.
very fair point.
What do you want me? Do you want
See
me
if
to?
you can do what he did.
They seem to be behaving more like crows
Okay.
at this moment, not synchronized or
Okay,
anything.
I'll wave at a crow. Try and
Roll me an animal handling.
it's over. I
One
think
thing we're good at here.
yeah, it's that's a non-natural 20.
Oh, nice.
No, it's a 19.
Okay, as
Plus
you,
six.
as you gesture with one of your enormous foreclaws, you reach down and just goes, "Rah, rah," and then just perches on your foreclaw.
I poke it and see if it turns to miss. But like
As in, like-
slowly, because I have learned my lesson
I've-
with the goblin.
As it's just like, as it just moves further up your arm away from your claw.
I've heard the phrase "don't poke the bear," but I'm now just like touching on "don't poke the crow."
I mean, it's not.
I mean, it's jumping away from him. It's not attacked
mist.
him yet.
It's not turning to mist.
You haven't touched it yet.
I can't
I
reach
go
it,
towards it. I go
can't help.
towards it with my snout and see if it moves.
I'm too curious to stop this.
As it looks curiously, it just pecks you on the nose. Doesn't particularly hurt. It's just like a.
Did I turn to mist?
No. You're still there, Tim.
No,
You're
no,
all
you're fine.
Okay. It's not mist. Well, I mean, it didn't miss me either, but it's not gone.
All right.
Yeah, the crow's just still looking on your arm, just like.
Do you want to sit on my hat?
It lands, and then suddenly you hear. There are now 6 on your
No,
antlers.
good.
Are they pecking at him, or is there anything to peck at?
There's not more lot left.
Yeah.
is
There's
there?
just skulls
Yeah.
on
I was
there.
gonna
Yeah.
say they
Pecked on them.
pecked the meat off, didn't they?
I like it.
Yeah, there's nothing
Instead of-
left.
Instead of
I think
loitering about here, maybe we should press on.
we need to
and-
find somewhere to rest.
Yeah. I don't think any of us are doing as well as we would like to be doing.
Well,
For once ever, I'm actually doing okay.
Alright, boys.
Mr. Mordekainen, I don't mean to tread on your lead here, but
I do not mean to.
I think you I believe that you promised the goblins in the cave a little more money.
Yes, you're quite.
I mean
yeah.
gold. I don't know what money is.
Boy, well, he's right with that.
Yeah,
Pay
I
what
thought
you
you
came
gave
out.
it to
I
them.
don't.
No, I'd given them. I'd given them two. I'd given them two. I hadn't given them the third.
I don't think it'd be nice to leave.
Well, you know you're
Well,
on
I'm,
with that.
I'm not
They
going back in
They
that
did
cave.
help us.
Yeah.
I could.
To a
You're
30.
not going back in the cave.
I get a second.
I've never gone in
I'm
the
saying
cave.
him. Off you go, Alan. You can go and give it to him yourself.
I just like just
You don't come back.
stepping like the arch, just like, ye Mick.
As your voice
Yeah.
echoes through the cave from the entrance, you don't seem to be hearing anything.
I brace myself while against the side of the entrance. If anything comes out, I'm going past me.
Hey, Gubbly. Gubbly.
Roll me persuasion.
Oh,
That's-
we killed off.
That's
one,
pretty
yeah.
good.
Yeah,
17.
probably that was it. I've written down the names.
I've got the names here for those two.
As you hear rustling from the bushes, you see Gubbly step out. Oh, right.
Oh, hey there.
Oh,
then-
Goblin.
And then you
Oh,
just
apologies.
suddenly, it's just suddenly he's like, anybody speak Goblin?
No.
You
I
just
speak
suddenly
undercommon if that's close, but that's
you
not
hear
friendly.
whispered from the bushes, and then Gubbly's just like, oh, I'm a little.
Oh, you know, people tell me that all the time. I don't believe them.
I'm sure you don't.
No, Alistair just he had something for you for your help.
Oh, do you?
I was actually as I start speaking, I grab a pinch of salt and I cast comprehend languages.
Mm-hmm.
Without that, I'll just probably catch the tail end of that.
You hear, oh, you're goddamn dead, right?
I know I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. Player.
We see you flinch and we all gasp
Yeah.
instinctively.
Yeah.
He
What's
heard
happened?
languages.
What's happened?
He can't do that.
What happened?
Goblin. Who will slow you the coin?
Oh, thank you.
Come on.
He seems to be cautiously
Yeah.
stepping, just like
Just
reaching out, but at the extent of his arm, he's not
Yeah.
trying. He's not going to get too close.
Yeah, and it's like just getting quite close as I can without just getting like just mouth is like.
I tell
As he
my
reaches and just pinches between the two claws the coin, just bites it a second. It's gold. He just goes, thank you. As you just hear him whisper, and in your head you hear, I've got money, is that good for my life? And then you just hear a bit of a consensus, like this, even though you understand the language, just sounds very muffled. Like,
Yeah.
last spurs a bottle after the moron.
Okay.
As he just ventures into the cave.
You go,
Everything okay?
oh yeah, perfect.
Oh, good.
I think I think you may have just saved a life today.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Need some sleep.
Well, that makes me feel a little better about all this.
Okay, so are you guys going to rest in the glen, or do you want to go back to the wagons, or what would you like?
Well, we only woke up about half an hour ago, actually.
Was that a long rest? Oh yeah, it was a long rest.
Yeah.
So,
Oh yeah, you ain't resting for a while.
Oh,
You can have a short rest if you want.
I mean,
not gonna help me.
You'll level up with a short rest.
I think,
It might help
If you're
me.
going to hit die left,
I think maybe.
I have got hit dice.
Because once we level up, I get my new healing abilities.
I mean, did you see our wagon when you were following us on the trail?
Did we?
You did see kind of a beach wagon where it was obviously been knocked off the road. That's why you came to investigate.
Said
And you
don't
followed the
touch our
very
stuff
noticeable
on the
tracks.
Yes.
Yeah, you kind of left almost a pointing arrow to where you were going.
Did it look like the rest of the stuff was still in it?
Seemed to be when you looked.
See,
yeah.
when we were there.
It's
it
the
was.
stuff that we
didn't
left
seem
at the entrance of the cave still
touched.
here.
Um,
He left Timothy's sack. Of
that seems to still be there.
That's still there.
I mean, maybe we should just return to the wagon and rest.
As you're
rest up
contemplating
there.
this, a crow, you suddenly hear, and Gamoin, you suddenly feel a light weight on your shoulder. And then you immediately see big glassy black eye. But it seems like a muffled call. As you pan back a little and you see that it's holding a purple glove.
I reach out very cautiously. I hold my hand just beneath the glove as though to catch it.
It releases it, it flops into your hand, and just flies away.
Is that?
Is that Varys?
You can turn into crows too. Or do you mean
Is
it's
that
turned into a glove?
I go up and walk like closer enough. Is that the same
It's
glove?
the same glove.
Very well.
Did he have 2 gloves or 1?
No.
Just 1.
Perhaps only had one.
Mm-hmm. As you look, it's the same glove.
Not sure if I made.
Was
me
it the
feel-
left hand or the right hand? Sorry.
I think it was the left, but it seemed to have changed a few times.
Okay.
It's an
It's an
ambidextrous
two
glove.
thumbs.
Yeah, it's got 2 thumbs.
I think Varys was like
Weirdly, so does
always
Varys.
holding it out as his right hand. That's my.
It's
Yeah.
built from a
Strangely-
6-fingered creature.
Yeah.
Strangely
he's
enough,
told
to
that.
your knowledge, whatever hand goes into it, it seems to conform to
Right.
form
Ooh,
around.
okay. Right.
I'm not putting it on.
Good idea.
But I look at it. Are there any marks on it? Does it appear to have been scratched or
The
damaged?
same purple
It's
runes.
perfectly
It
fine.
seems to be a very elaborate, fine blue silk.
Well, this means one of 2 things then. Either that was Varys, or that thing ticked his body clean. Well,
Well, he was a
Hey.
sparrow when he left and came back
he
as
was.
a crow.
He was. Well, if he came back at all, we may not be seeing him again.
Oh, he's become part of the glove.
Become part. I throw the glove.
I
I
go and catch it.
It just
was about
lands on your face with a splat.
Just
Right,
like,
Alistair, you can look after that.
I'll,
then.
yeah, I'll investigate this in due time. I'll just put it in my bag. Put it in my bag.
Okay, so
Let's
half
go.
of the race is
would you like to head back through the trail?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
who's leading the party?
I don't think.
I've no
Not me.
objection to going first if somebody has to.
You can see in the dark a lot better than I can.
Oh wait, that's true.
How's your passive perception?
Oh,
Point?
awful.
That bodes
13.
well. 13.
Same as mine. So.
Okay, and as you're leading through the dense, thick foliage of the forest, like pushing your way through trees, you hear the occasional
Are
crack
we pushing you out? We're just following the path you cleared the way in.
crack of branches, and basically,
Don't
as
forget
you're
there's big holes in the floor.
As
as you're
got the-
pushing
the
branches
sack.
and they're just whipping back, you just see Tim just stepping through, just going. Basically, like he's got
Are
a
you
big
carrying-
hands full of machetes.
I am taking the
He's
sack
carrying
with
the
us.
sack.
Yeah.
It's over above my head, even though he's doing it.
So you follow behind you. And then there's
I'm
one
clearing the
behind
path for me, but unfortunately that's not high enough for anybody else.
And,
So I'm guessing you're following the trail of the footprints
Yeah.
that you left behind.
yeah,
as
I'm,
you're
and I'm
fo-
remembering where like there was traps and stuff that we avoided.
Yeah, you avoid the traps. They're pretty easy to avoid now.
We've come this way
Nowhere.
3 times now.
you. Great.
As
We
you're
went in
following,
and back in again. This is our 4th travel on this path now.
as you're
Well
following,
acquainted.
as you're following these paths, though, you start to notice that there's a footprint among them that's a lot bigger. And as you look more elaborately at it, you notice that it seems to be a large clawed paw print. And as you look a little bit closer, roll me perception.
Can we all roll on that one? Just
He's leading the party.
oh.
7.
Does he actually see the paw print?
He sees
I
the paw
step
print,
in
but he
it and I
can't.
see.
drop 2 feet down.
He sees the paw print. He can't really make anything else out of it. Oh dear.
I bust to myself. Oh, that's big.
And it seems to be moving in the direction that you are on, and you see that it seems to kind of move slightly off direction back into the forest.
Tim,
Yeah.
how big are your feet?
Oh, you know they're pretty big.
The feet size.
Sort of like this.
I
Like
gestured.
tree trunk.
Oh my
I
God.
gestured to the print. You didn't make that, did you?
No,
It's
I'm
bigger
not,
than your
I'm not,
feet.
I'm not artistically inclined.
So there's something out here bigger than you then.
Oh, I'm sure there's lots of things out here bigger than me.
Wrong perception, Tim.
It's going to be over 20.
A what?
It's going to be over 20. It's a
Okay.
23.
Okay, as you look at the same
Your modifier is
footprints,
so good.
as you look at the same footprints that Kaboin has gestured towards, you see that there seem to be several feathers around the ground, large brown feathers.
Okay, can I roll nature check to see if I know what this is?
Sure, I'm going to check.
Less good. 13. I have a -1.
Okay.
The handling is amazing. The perception of it. Isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay,
Only my wisdom and strength skills.
you've had brief encounters with this thing. Let me find it. And you get to look at the page for 5 seconds. Let's see if I can find it. There it is.
Oh, hey
For
guys,
5
I
seconds.
think I know what this might be.
Oh, yeah. That'll be good.
Would this be visible to me now?
On the right.
2, 3, 4, 5.
I think it's a bear owl.
That's two
So
creatures
a
that shouldn't
bear
go
No.
together.
And an owl together.
Yeah. Or maybe it's an owl bear, I can't remember.
That whatever it is, that don't sound
Would this be
good.
visible to me now?
No.
Have you picked up the feathers or just left them on the ground?
I mean, I guess I'm inspecting them, looking at them when I was...
You see him pick up these big brown feathers.
Do I recognise any of these at all?
How
Roll
long
me
are
history.
the feathers?
Oh, 17.
Yes, you recognise those feathers.
Are these from that? Just
It
kind of
seems
shuts.
very similar.
Oh.
He kind of shuts down a little bit and just kind of goes into just a deep thought.
It seems very similar.
Alistair, are you okay?
there?
This type of creature, I've encountered it before. Well, I haven't. My sister did.
I don't like where this is going.
No, neither do I. It doesn't sound good.
Just need to make sure I get.
Bum, bum, bum.
Was it friendly?
Oh, you want a picture of it?
No, it wasn't. It killed my sister Judith.
Oh.
Killed her.
Oh, no.
Yeah, when I was 8.
Oh.
She was my older sister,
Oh, I'm really sorry.
and we were playing just around our house, and we went to some trees, and I lost sight of her. 10-15 minutes, and I found her, and she was in pieces. And those feathers and those tracks, they were around.
I'm sorry to hear that. And as
Mhm.
I touch your shoulder, you feel the warmth from my body.
You have my blessing.
Yeah,
Do you,
can't change it.
do you want a hug?
Well,
As you're contemplating this, you hear a very faint
can we change?
and the padding of soft feet.
Is it coming towards us?
It does seem to be getting louder.
Guys, I think we should try and maybe let's just leave.
We should get off this track.
Would you like to roll stealths?
Yeah.
Good luck. Find her on yourself.
Oh shit.
No.
20, not natural.
12.
5.
Oh,
Oh good god.
Oh wait, no, you've been taught how to hide. Roll me with advantage.
Oh, you have? Yes. Yeah, the goblins taught you.
That's true. 12.
Okay, as you
Well,
plonk
it's
yourself
slightly
behind
better.
a single branch, you realise, well, this ain't big enough, and just go and just shrink down and make yourself look as rocky as possible. As you all dive into the bushes, seemingly by the road, you hear that soft padding again of a doom, doom, doom. you smell this deep scent of like decaying flesh. And as you look up, you look from your points in the dense underbrush, you see that enormous, huge, muscular, brown, flecked, feathered forearms, seemingly huge, just padding forwards. And as you look up slightly, you see that there is a huge owl's head attached. And as you see that its huge, jagged beak was bent down, prepared, with a slightly whitish face. And as it looks around, you see that one of its eyes has a knife deeply embedded in it. As you see it just sniffing at the floor. And it starts padding over. It pads over towards Tim's rock formation. Its head just swivels to the point where it's almost upside down as it just looks up and down over the rock. As it pads and just slowly moves through the foliage, moving aside, pads over closer to where you are, both of you. And it gets closer, and you get a deep smell of, it's obviously eaten recently because you smell fresh blood. As it gets closer, and you just hear that, and you feel the weight as it starts to shake the ground around you. As you hear the hoo, the breath starts to wash over the top of your hair. And as you're looking up, you roll me stealths.
Oh no, no.
12.
That's even. I've got even worse. 6.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah, it's gonna see me.
You lucky.
Oh wow,
Oh.
really?
Yeah.
I've only got one eye. I'm looking you with the wrong eye.
Yeah, you're lucky. Yeah, as it just seemingly just moves its head above you, it just pads softly away again.
As it's had
As
his
it goes
eyes,
away, I breathe out really slowly.
As had his eyes closed and he's like just shaking the whole time.
You have no idea if it's still there.
Can I
Really, I'm
slowly poke my
I'm
head
not
out and
moving.
see if
Roll
I
me
can-
a... You know what? Roll me a perception.
It's going to be a 23 again.
It seems to have left.
I don't know why I bother rolling anything anymore. I just,
I've only
Hey,
got...
Tim, could you roll for me?
I've only
Why am
got
I
good,
doing anything?
good wisdom and strength. I've got -1 to all my intelligence rolls. Okay, so I come out and say, hey guys, I think it might be gone.
I hesitate to move just yet.
Like, I'm just standing there like,
Like, you may think that, Tim. I'm just going to hold on.
We should probably get out of here. Can I see any of those guys?
You
with that
can't
roll?
see, you can
With
spot that
20,
they seem to
20,
be
you can see.
hiding.
With a 6
but
and
you can't
stuff, and
make
I'm
anything
like in
out.
my arms poking up bushes.
You see after them, like,
The bush
You
is
see the
shak-
bush is
they're
going-
shaking.
He's shaking
The bush
very
next to
much.
it
he's
is
shaking.
And
like,
my
on
eyes
fire.
are just like as tight and as close as they can go. Yeah, I'm
I come
shaking.
over and I say, oh, hey buddy, Alistair, buddy. And it's like, I'll pat you very gently on the shoulder.
Roll me sleight
very
of hand.
gently.
Uh,
10.
He pats you and he thinks it's gently, but it's almost like somebody has just taken
Like
shearing
claws.
gloves and just lightly grazed them across your back.
Out of just the surprise, I immediately come over. I'll go and just try and punch him in the chest, just out of reaction and just utter fear.
Roll me a strength check.
I'll go disadvantage because my eyes are closed.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's absolute crap. 6.
Yeah, your hand just goes
Yeah.
against the tough exterior shell. It's like, ah.
Hey, you don't want to. It's not. It's gone. It's me. What did you do? Is he okay?
That
I
was
don't think so.
the creature that killed my sister.
Yeah,
that killed Judith.
I think we should get you out of here, buddy. It's
I wanted to-
it's gone.
He wanted to kill that thing, but we weren't in a
We
position
need to get you away from that thing as quickly as we can.
It's gone. Come on, buddy.
There's no sense in any more killing now.
We wouldn't. We're in the states that, apart from you, are in. We probably wouldn't last long against it.
Well, if I'm honest, killing's not really my strong point.
Yeah, come on.
Never used to be mine either.
Is that her knife?
Mm-hmm.
It was her knife.
Aye. I wish there was something I could do to help make it better, but
She's long gone. 9 years ago now.
9 years.
Mm.
Level 5, I can help.
She'd be 20 now.
We could try and
I'm sure she'd be
hunt it
proud of what
down
you've become.
for you.
But I don't fancy staying here any longer if that thing's around.
No, let's go. Let's go.
Let's
Let's
go.
go.
Okay, so as you guys follow along the trail, you see that, again, that soft padding, although it does seem to have moved away, as you see that the dense foliage seems to kind of thin out a little bit. It takes you a while, it's just padding, trekking through the dense, thick brush, and then you find yourselves on the outstretch of the road. And you see, once again, there is your, like, completely deserted wagon, and there is also the wagon that you guys have used, with your horses just waiting there, rather expectantly.
Okay, so I see the second wagon, not knowing where that's from.
The second, did your wagon have stuff on it for the mines?
No, ours was empty. I think,
Yours was
wasn't
empty.
it?
Yeah, we just had.
So I see as I come out, I see the second wagon, I sort of pause and drop back in again. Hold on. I think someone else has been here.
Have you made note that you've got that glove, by the way?
Oh no!
Oh yeah.
I
make
have
note
not
of
got
glove.
that glove.
What
I don't want that
I
glove.
don't want it.
what was the
One
thing you could
buddy,
do again?
these guys have been here.
Is it shopping?
Shopping grasp. Yeah.
You think that's their wagon then?
Call it the runic glove.
Okay.
I mean, is this your wagon, Shula?
Well, I'm assuming it is. I can't see it at the moment because you're in the way.
I relax. I step aside. Sorry,
It's-
boy.
It seems like a standard, like, barely put together wooden wagon.
I think the
Taking
tension's
out
getting
the-
Is it our wagon?
It is your wagon.
That's fine. Yes, it's our
You
wagon.
recognise the horses.
Which of the wagons looks sturdier?
Theirs.
We
the
say
fact
that
that
one's
it's got
salt and
horses.
that salt that
And it hasn't
horse is
crashed.
salt and that horse is pepper.
You
I
named
named
your
the horses. I named the horses because I got bored.
At least you appreciate life. I respect that.
You know what? I think maybe we should
He's on a
load
driver's
the,
body.
load the
still
stuff from our wagon to your wagon, and maybe let's just get out of here.
Yeah.
Is the body of our driver still there?
Seemingly seems to have, like, fallen off the road at this point, and you see that there are a couple crows pecking at it.
Just before we go, I'd like to, I don't know if the spell can really do this. If I can, I'd like to use Sacred Flame to cremate his body.
It wouldn't be potent enough.
No.
Problem is, Sacred
Just
Flame,
singe it.
the flame itself
Yeah, that's
isn't
radiant,
actually fire.
I can do produce.
Yeah, that's fine.
What
I
if I
can-
did
I can-
produce
I can
flame
do-
at it?
I can do firebolt if needed.
No, I'm not going to speak that aloud. That's
Okay. Oh
that's
right. Okay.
that's my
Oh,
inclination.
okay.
So
Okay.
it's
Alright.
respect.
You're contemplating it in your head.
Yeah, I sort of,
Okay.
I warm the flame up in my hand, but no, we're all good.
Okay.
So
I just
get
hop into
loads
the.
of stuff in the wagon.
Yeah,
So
we
on
get
the wagon.
hoik our the canvas top of stuff that we've got into their wagon as well.
Okay. In
Can
that case,
I pull
That
his
goes back
body off the
into
road
the
just to
tree.
the edge of the woods?
We took half of
Sure,
the
roll me
stuff off
strength
our
check.
wagon to take it with us.
Go to keep
Because
them
our
when it's
horses
safe.
are dead.
21.
20. You basically just go, piss off, crows, and they just go, "Rah, rah, rah," and they're like, bastard, ruin our meal. And you just immediately lunk up the body, and you just, not realising your own strength, it's just go, woof, like, when you throw up a ball, and you're just like, oh, it lifts slightly out of your hands, and you just go, whoop, and catch it again, and
Oh
you're just
god,
like,
that's gonna be messy.
Okay, so go, I'm
and
sorry.
it,
I'm
it
sorry.
kind of goes a bit of a, like a wet sack. Yeah, as you just carry it away.
I sit him up against a tree.
Okay.
I close his arms already, but I just sort of rest the head up against the tree, mutter a short blessing as he passes over, and returns to the wagon.
Okay. Inspiration. Inspiration for you, by the way.
Oh.
Nice.
Top right, top left. Sorry.
Yeah.
What was I saying? Top right. Completely wrong.
So is Sildar still with us?
Sildar is. He's just been very
No, I didn't
quiet
know
as he's
about
seen
that.
all these crows and everything.
So you gonna come with us, Mr. Sildar?
You just kind of got no choice right now, do I?
Well, you could stay here.
Oh, we've got to find
probably
a
not
person. We've
smart.
got to find
As
a
he
person
sees once again those
that you were
crows
escorting.
flying around, it's just like, you don't think this is a very good idea.
Well, you did say you
I think
were
I'm
going
with
to
you
Phandalin.
right now, tell me.
Okay. Can we all get in this cart? Is it big enough for us?
It is big
I'm
enough
already
for
in
several
it.
people to sit in. Yeah, it seems to be a wagon sort of commissioned for the purposes of transporting people.
You know how to ride this?
I'm not responding.
Is
You
it
should
big
he's
enough
just
for
gonna-
all
he's
of
gonna
them?
just-
In deep thought, I'm just writing
Plus your
the book.
supplies.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
it's big enough. It's almost like a people carrier.
Who's driving then?
Who's going to be driving the wagon?
I speak that slightly louder again. No, he's not going to hear this one. I can't reach the reins.
I
so-
probably could, but
I mean, I'm probably a bit big for the front seat. I tend to be sort of more of a sit in the base. But
He's
Yeah,
too
but-
tall. I can't reach.
if you want,
it's
Sildar,
probably
can you
gonna be
ride?
me then.
you could do.
Yeah, I
too.
suppose I can do the wagon. I mean, I know my way around the horses. It's what you can do. I
Okay.
suppose if you all want to rest, you can do that. I mean, on my kitchen shutter, while I'm going down the road, not particularly a problem.
I will.
Sure.
Okay, well if you
Okay.
wanted to take the
As
lead,
he
He's probably
hefts
not
himself
gonna
up into
stop.
the driver's seat and just whoosh, you realise he's going without you as you all run to try and catch up and just hop into the wagon.
hang on a minute.
Was left with me and I didn't notice.
You're just sat there just moodily like,
I pick up Alistair.
Oh no, I was in the.
He was in the car.
I just dropped in there and I was just
Okay.
in my spell book.
yeah, as you're in the trunks, you just, there's that crack in the, "Whoa."
Okay.
There's a long line across the
I'll
house.
hop in.
There's just
I
a
wanna
line
sit-
right
I
across
wanna
the
sit on
page,
back,
just
looking
like-
backwards. Just
There's a
keep an
faint
eye on
poof as you hop in.
I want to look backwards. Just keep an eye if anything comes behind us.
You see the occasional crow flying through the sky, but nothing else particularly out of the ordinary. Roll me perception.
It's gonna be 22.
From behind one of the trees, you do see that same gaunt, purple-fleshed face, just looking intently at you,
Bye.
and disappears from behind the tree.
Who have you seen, Tim?
Rude. The purple. Oh, he said he was mauve. The mauve man.
He's still watching us, is he?
I mean, I think so. He didn't wave though.
When he wanted us to help him, I'm assuming that you just.
He wanted
Well,
us to help him. He should
It
have said what he
seemed
wanted
like
us to
he
help
wanted
him
us
with.
to help him. I couldn't really understand what he was saying.
He was very cryptic.
Very.
Well, if he wanted help, he didn't ask for it. It's not my concern now.
Well, if you guys would like to take a short rest on the wagon, you can do that.
I will, and I'll roll my hit dice so that whatever it was on.
Is that to heal, or is that to check your health?
Oh wait, you said a short rest we can level up.
Yeah.
Will we be back?
That's.
I mean, you know what? If I roll that, I'll be at full health for my level 1 character, and then when I roll
And
level up,
you'll
I'll
get
be
the
at full
boost for your
health.
health
Yes,
anyway.
I'm gonna do that.
What's what's a hit dice? I haven't written this down. Is it
It's,
D6?
D6.
D6, yeah. How many hit dice we get per
A whole
one.
one?
A whole
Okay.
a whole D6.
Yeah,
for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna expect.
Oh,
it.
you bastard! I rolled a 1.
Plus your con.
That's a con 4.
What?
It's a high
All
con,
right then.
high con wizard.
I was gonna say,
Yeah,
I'm
it's just
gonna
like,
expect
oh,
it.
you. Oh, full health. Roll it. Good roll.
8
Nice. Plus
Roll
your
it,
con.
roll.
plus my con, which is 2.
So 10. You've got an extra 10 health.
I've got 4. I've got 5.
What about you, Kaboin?
I
This is a durable party.
I'm gonna end up gaining 6 health.
Only 6. Oh, are you taking the
Yeah.
average?
Because no, I rolled it last session. And I
Oh, yeah,
there
that's
anyway,
right.
so
Yeah,
I
that's
just wiped that across.
Oh,
I must have rolled a
sorry.
2 or something. So I get 3 con.
You didn't.
Plus
You
1.
didn't roll well.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
I get
think
plus
it was a
1 for
3 or
being life
something.
domain, plus
Oh, and
3
then
con. We get plus
help.
4 to my. So I must have rolled a 2.
Yeah, probably.
So,
With the
I
new
mean, you can
health.
roll again if you want.
I've done it now. I'm not
Okay.
gonna try
That's
and
fair.
game it.
Yeah.
I made the choice.
I'm sorry, you were saying.
Yeah, it's like when you said when we rolled the new health,
Spells.
we add that on top of the health we've
Yeah.
got. Okay, all right then. Wow, not doing too bad now.
What's your maximum health now?
17.
So there's one more.
Holy level 2 wizard! How is that possible?
I had a 9 at the start, and then I rolled a 6.
A 9?
No.
Yeah, 6 plus 3, yeah.
6 plus 3, yeah.
I've got 18.
So how have you got 17?
I don't know. I'm trying to figure out. I got what it. Oh no, I got an 8 in total. I didn't roll a 9. I got a 5. I got a 5 plus.
No. For your first, you would have got a max. So you would have had a 9.
That was 6 plus 3.
Yeah, 9.
Yeah. So I had 9 at the start, and
Yeah,
then
9
I
at
rolled.
the start.
Then I rolled an 8 for the health. No,
I thought you rolled a 1.
Oh no, that was
Oh,
for my
that was
hit
to
dice.
heal.
That was to
Okay.
heal, yeah.
Okay, right, okay. I was
Yeah.
confused though.
Yeah, I was like, we're throwing different numbers. 8.
This math is wrong.
So wait, should I add that 8 onto the 5 or for the new health, or is it just new maximum?
Onto the
Well,
current
let's
hit
take
points.
Oh, current hit points. Okay,
Seven.
right then.
Yeah.
So
Like, your maximum is 17, but add it onto the current.
okay.
So
Alright
you've
then.
got, what, 9?
Plus 8. I got. Oh my god. 13.
Maths, the game.
Yeah.
Fun.
That's the worst thing about Dungeons and Dragons. I'm shit
The
at maths.
mathematics.
I'm like, what am I doing?
So, would anybody, one
24,
person,
I did not roll super well for my health last
would
time.
anybody
but,
for the one purpose of a short rest like to try for a plot armor?
I
No?
think I've already
Tim's-
told the thing I
yeah,
wanted to
Tim,
tell
Tim,
anyway.
Tim just
There's
wants
nothing
to
else
sit
happening in your life.
There's things going on, but nothing that
Gibbon's
Ring
up
up.
for it.
You
I
want to
have
go?
no memory the last 24 hours. I was unconscious for the whole thing, but I can give something a go.
Okay, in that case, there you
It's going to
go.
be a tale about how much I hate water. But
What's that? A club?
that's a state.
That's a spade. Okay. In that case, a past victory then, please.
Well, I don't know if any of you really know about the goddesses, do you?
Not a lot.
No, not
Right.
really.
So what got me into this, you know, I grew up in a healing chapel. It was my job, you know, when those poor creatures turned up. They'd been attacked by bandits or raiders or,
Owlbears.
well, I tried to think what they would have looked like if that came, but there was this one Toyn, you know, this sickly creature, small girl, that had been more than a couple of years old. Didn't think she was going to make it, you know, her chest was barely moving. There was a lot of blood that day. They didn't think they could help her, you know, the clerics there, they weren't sure, but I couldn't watch her die, you know. I could, they wouldn't let me in, but I couldn't watch her. So as they carried her out, I reached out a hand and, well, I see this thing here. Spin the corner of my beard. I put all my thought into that and to look, you know, she's Fortune, and well, Fortune smiled on me that day. They didn't let me see her after that, but I know she lived. They wouldn't let me stay in the chapel for interfering, but to know that I saved her, you know, to me that life is worth enough. So if I can do that again, it's worth whatever it cost me.
It's very nice of you.
It's very noble of you.
You did a good thing that day.
My friend, you learned a plot device. There you go. Oh, one. Oh, and I've taken out Tim. Do you want to pass
Killed
me
Tim.
that? That was amazing. My head!
Tim's dead.
Tim is so annoyed he fell off the cart.
He was so touched that he just went.
A
You
little,
went catatonic.
a little saltwater tear rolls down his cheek.
Aw.
Aw.
Oh.
I get all the sad stories today. Like, to brighten up the mood, I start playing Song of Many.
Oh, you can play a Song of Resting if you want.
Oh, I
Can
can
you do
do
a
a song.
Song
I
of
can
Rest?
do a Song of Rest. I can.
That boosts healing, doesn't it?
Yes.
Oh, there you go.
Where's it gone?
There you go, Alistair. Slightly better.
To be honest, I'm 13 out of 17 now. So,
Well,
You get an extra
all the health
D6.
is good.
oh, is that on the
So
rest
you've
or is it,
used,
yeah?
so you've used your hit dice. Because
Yeah.
you've used your hit dice, you get an extra
Oh.
D6 on
Yeah.
top of
Yes,
it
please.
using my Song of Rest.
So is it plus my con as well? No, okay,
No,
all right.
I
then.
don't think it's plus a con.
No.
It's,
Okay,
it's
so
just an extra
two.
You regain additional hit points when they spend hit dice based on the level.
I'm just surprised I still have
2.
full health.
Thank you very much.
Alistair is the buffest wizard.
Yeah.
Oh, it is. He's super hench.
Underneath his robes, he's like makes his pecs down.
If I take,
He didn't
if I
skip
take,
the egg day.
if I
He's
take
doing
my hood
a
off,
Frodo.
I look like Mojo Jojo.
It's not that you're doing a Frodo. See, oh no, he's only got ropes. Is that mithril under the rope?
Is it just his muscles though?
Yeah.
You should have been dead.
His skin
Yeah.
is
Not-
hard
yeah.
and steel.
My lowest stat is 12.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's
You
my
are,
strength.
I mean,
you are a hench wizard.
It shouldn't be this. This is unknown territory for me.
Although he's holding the death glove, so who would hold me wrong?
Yeah.
Okay, as you've all just rested and contemplated, the
And get started about it, she'll rest when it's.
the beam of the sun
It's a wizard thing.
rising up just blinks into each of your eyes as it rises up, and you see the crimson sky of the sun peeking over the crests of the hills and rising over the trees. And there is once again the shine of morning on the road. Okay, and as you get closer, you start to hear the sounds of hustle and bustle, and you see what is a large, seemingly picketed fence that seems to have been turned into sharp points throughout in sort of a roughshod, just seemingly recently made barricade that covers everything except for a single gate that is stood right where the road is, and stood at both ends of the seeming gate are 2 rather rough-looking fellows with shorn, barely shaved beards and like seemingly a lot of blades at their hips and red cloaks along their backs. Welcome to Phandalin.
Quick question. The
Mhm.
cart we're on,
Yeah.
was it like our cart, like the top?
It had no top.
Okay. So I'm clearly visible.
You're very visible, Tim.
You are at the back of the car.
Yes.
They will see you.
They will see the back of
They'll
your
see,
head.
they'll see a
they'll see,
rock.
oh,
No.
there's a nice normal man riding the cart, and then is that fire? What the hell is that thing?
See a rock with a deer head on it.
It's a deer skull now.
I'm assuming the crows have flown off with it.
Oh yeah, the squirrel's gone. The crow's vanished.
Came for a ride.
We're a long way from home. How did we get here?
Okay. As you just hear Solar say, look, just let me do the talking, because I know that if he starts talking, we're never going to get in. Okay?
Okay.
Alright.
Okay. As he trundles
Tim,
up,
be quiet.
and you hear that as the wheels slow down slightly, and then you just hear, hold up! What are you doing here? What's your business stepping into Phandalin? He's like, and no particular business at all. We just thought that there was commerce going on. We heard of the great, thriving, bustling commerce of Phandalin, and we just had to visit it. And they're right, fellas.
Oi!
I'm a girl.
I've
And
heard
girls.
good things. I try and do my most typical dwarf voice. I've heard good things about the taverns here.
As just this rather grisly folk, big fella, barrel chest, looks up all at you, just like,
I'm still
holding my
yeah.
loot.
I'm not making.
Yeah,
You
what's
you look like you could go a few rounds.
and what's your purposes here?
Just as a minor point, my background means that I have a reputation and can get away with small criminal infractions.
That's with certain people.
Yeah, but just reminding now that we're in an urban,
Oh, yeah.
now we're in an urban environment.
I'm fine
If
with that. I'm fine with
if
that.
anybody here is faithful to tomorrow, they can offer. I can.
I don't say anything.
receive shelter.
Certain people.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
just as a reminder in case I do anything
Of course.
here,
I say I'm a folk.
in case it plays into
Ooh.
it.
Divine shelter.
I'm not paying attention to the guards at the moment though. I'm just still looking. I'm still looking out the back. I've not noticed we've stopped.
Yeah, you're just seeing the occasional crow like, alright. Head on in. I don't want to be hearing anything about you. Alright.
We'll behave.
Oi.
Yeah, I'll believe that. Alright, I'm in. As you just see,
You're not
seemingly a very small gate that was made out of barricades, pointed barricades, just drop. And now the wagon will go in. As you look over, you see that there are several buildings and everything just seems filthy. Like there is not much cleaning, nothing much done, and you see people selling wares, people selling fruit and veg. However, you see that this fruit and veg, it looks slightly furry. Obviously, nobody's had fresh commerce or anything in a long time.
I'm just sorry, were there any sigils or symbols on the guard's uniform?
No sigils.
I just wave at them as I go past.
It just looks like.
No.
Okay, so last time I checked, and if I remember rightly, we needed to go to Barthen's, didn't we? I remember one of you mentioning it.
I have no idea.
If that's where you want to go, just say. You don't need to pretend you're telling us that.
I mean, we have to take this stuff somewhere, don't we? I can't
Wait,
remember where it
boy.
was.
But if Sildar's got somewhere he wants to go, just speak it.
He whips the cracks and just whoosh. Right, off you go then.
Steady on, mate.
And you just feel a bit woo as they lead up to what seems to be a rather stone brick building with a simple sign on it that just swings saying Barthen's Provisions. You'll lead inside, leading in this wagon. You guys, up inside everywhere with Barthen. I'm sure something interesting can happen.
Yeah,
You're
whatever.
all not coming with us?
I've got to put this wagon somewhere. I don't want it being nicked.
Okay.
That's fair. Do you need a hand?
Knowing you, yeah, couldn't do with it.
Okay.
Right, well.
Okay.
You're going to meet us back here then, or should we come find you?
He'll come in and when I'm done packing all this stuff up. I know
Alright,
he
Tim,
asked
you
for
take
it.
good care of him.
I will.
Okay.
Sildar, don't give him any reason to have to take good care of you.
Me quaking boots. Here, whatever.
I climb out of the wagon.
Okay, as you climber out, you. I'm assuming you three are stepping into the place?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got the sacks. And
Okay.
You can't actually drag them between us.
Oh, no, the supplies are in the wagon, that's why he's
He's
Yeah.
taking the
going
road.
around back.
Of course, yeah, he's taking them. Yeah.
He's
Yeah,
like, hey, put
I
it
just
back.
told him to do that. Yeah.
Put it back.
Yeah.
Okay, as you head inside, you see that there are seemingly shelves just with certain supplies all littering around it. Nothing particularly outside of the ordinary. And as you look, everything just seems to have a kind of a dust and cobwebbed layer on it. As though nothing has particularly happened with it
Is there a
for
bell
while.
to ring as we come in the door?
Well, as you look on the desk, you do see
I mean, like when we open the
a
door,
slight
is
ring.
there any noise
No.
or anything? No.
There is a slight ringing bell on the desk, but that's all you can really make out. Nobody particularly seems to be at attendance there.
I blow some of the dust off the bell.
As you blow it, and just a big like.
I'm
clap.
just assuming, how high is the desk? Can I reach to do that?
It's about up to your chest.
Okay, yeah, so I'll lean over here.
Careful.
I tell that. Well, someone's taking good care of this place.
I don't think anyone's been here.
I've seen
It
crits
looks
cleaner than this.
abandoned.
Hello?
You hear nothing in
I
particular.
sort of reach my arm up. I go to hit the bell.
And then you just hear lots of shuffling and sounds of clutter from the back. It's just like, I'm Carmen. Right. As a rather tall, lanky, bald fellow steps out. What can I do for you?
Barthen, I presume.
Who's asking?
We were sent here to deliver some supplies to you.
Oh, you're the fellows, all right, then. Right, who was that fellow? Gundren, that was it. The Gundren fellow, that's right. He said to take this stuff, so I'm assuming it's out there.
Oh yes, it'll be around the back.
Oh, very good. Yes, he said he had something for you. As he just reaches and plonks down a small pouch of there's a hefty clink of metal, as you hear. He's like, there you go, thank you very much.
He's not here then.
Oh,
Gundren.
Why would he be? He commissioned me to take the supplies, and that's what I'm doing. I've only met the man once. Weird fellow.
Why, what did this man look like to you?
Short, dwarfy fellow, eye patch. Eye patch on his right eye, if I remember rightly. Seemed to
Quite
have
an intimidating man.
Clarence. Oh, so you met him then?
I have.
Yeah.
Well, just making sure we met the
He
same
seemed to
man.
have very
so-
good eyesight for a man with one eye.
Definitely.
Peculiar. Well,
You don't speak to him much, then I take it.
He don't speak much. He speaks in riddles.
well, I suppose we'll play to you. Have a lovely time in Phandalin for what it's worth. Although I don't see you having much fun here. Not with the red brands in charge.
Yeah, I was.
The red brands.
What is the general state of affairs around here?
Right now, nothing. It's a complete state.
I mean, don't tell him I said this, but I'd rather the red brands were gone.
Who are the red brands?
See them fellows always walking about with them big red cloaks on.
I
Yeah.
pull out the lion-headed symbol from where I wrote it down. The one that isn't the Rockseeker symbol, I pull that out. Wouldn't be these guys, would it?
No, nothing like that.
No?
How long have the red brands been in
Oh,
charge?
right.
For about
I'm never gonna find this
3-4 months now. I don't know.
Oh, so not very long.
No, they just came in. They took over.
What brought them around? What is making them stay?
I don't know. They're just here. They say they're here for protection of this place, but I don't know why they're here.
You don't look like you need protection. What are they scared of?
Scared? What are you saying, scared?
I'm not saying you are, I'm saying they came to protect you. What are they so scared of that makes them think you need protecting?
I don't know. They haven't protected a lot of us. They've killed some of us and taken some of us off to prison.
Why?
Who knows? Advantage of a place that doesn't really have much in the way of defence.
And who instructs
not right.
these?
No, they already killed all the people who fought back. No sense in that. Except for Quarian. But, yeah, we don't think about him.
Corian.
Quarian, yeah. Quarian Olderleaf. He said he did something to the Red Brands, but I don't particularly believe him. He's a bit more torque than anything else. Yeah. But I don't know. All I knows is something's going on. We don't know what, and we ain't allowed to know what.
Would you know anyone who would know what?
Oh,
Is that how he speaks?
there is.
I'm trying to.
There is somebody, but I wouldn't advise talking to the Purple Lady.
Purple lady.
Yeah, Aelia Thornton. Yeah, dangerous woman.
Aelia.
Aelia Thornton. She's a dangerous person. Always mucking about with her. What's her dog's buddy's name? Orville. That fella. He ain't right. He's weird looking.
What do you mean weird looking?
He's got green hair. Green hair and purple flesh. It's weird. We don't ask questions. We're simple folk. And that he ain't no simple folk. He's weird. And she, that purple lady, she's something not right there.
These red brands, they just turned up one day, did they?
Yeah, just turned up out of the blue.
Anybody in command?
Not to my knowledge. I hear tell there's 2 people in charge, but I've only ever seen one. And trust me, you don't want to see that fellow. He's a man goes by the name of as he just kind of looks around the place just to
I
make sure
lean
that it's
forward slightly over the desk.
the air collector.
Ooh.
Don't mess with him. Trust me. Don't get on his bad side. He is nasty and he likes to take pieces.
Okay, so if he's the one that you see, who's the other one that's supposed to be in charge?
Roll persuasion.
What is happening? I'm sort of looking over at
17.
Alistair's ear. Like,
Well,
thing that
it is said that
I'm
there's another
examining
guy
your
in
ear.
charge, some
Oh,
guy
my
by the
ear.
name of Glarstar.
Not too high. I'm only 5'6".
Yeah. But I've never seen him. I couldn't tell you what he looked like. He's a weird fella. I'm glad to know that's all you need.
You don't suppose you have a chapel here, do you?
Of course we do. It ain't been much taken care of lately. I mean, Red Brands came in, they took all the holy people. There's only Sister Uriel left.
Well, I could do with paying her a visit.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure you'll be fine with it. It's as he looks over your enormous spectacles.
Yep,
And-
not subtle.
Yeah. I think you'll do very well there. I mean,
I
it is
will.
a shrine of Tamora after
Oh,
all.
well, then fortune shines upon us.
Yeah, whatever, mumbo jumbo with lardy dardy stuff in the sky.
Well, at least we're getting somewhere.
Alright, well, happy days to you. Enjoy your coin, and I'm going to stay my business to myself so I don't get in trouble.
I opened the coin bag on the desk.
Okay, you open another coin bag, and there is gold coins inside.
Just from looking around. Oh, sorry. I was.
Okay. I was going to exit. You can go in first.
Just as we're in the room, can I have a look around just like see what kind of what his wares are, what he sells, what his shop actually contains.
It just seems to be kind of just standard wares and supplies, that kind of thing. Like maybe tools, that kind of thing. Nothing like weapons or anything like that. Just kind of just standard
Well,
wear.
from what he said, he's not going to sell them anyway. He's sending them on to someone else again. He's just a middleman.
Yeah.
How are we getting on?
The back of the shop.
Successfully unloaded everything.
Oh yes.
Excellent.
As you and Sildar are just unloading everything and just plunking it down in the back, you see a couple pigs in a pen at the back, just and you're just like, you wave at everything, don't you?
It's just nice to be polite and friendly, you know.
Yeah, I suppose you can be, but I don't know, just you want to be careful there. Some people ain't to be trusted.
Well, if they don't wave back, then you quickly find out who they are.
You're not wrong, I suppose, but at the same time, what if somebody did wave to you?
Then you've made a friend.
Oh, you're blitheringly naive. I love it.
Oh, thanks, Sildar.
And sarcasm is lost on you. Of course it is. Yeah, okay.
We're just sort of waiting around in the shop now. Just stood there.
It's like,
That's
well,
a quick-
she was
quick
gonna say,
seven,
she
okay,
was
fine.
like-
Basically, the
You
supplies
know
on the
the-
shelf is all this kind of
She'll
stuff.
You know the money
Sorry,
that we,
I'm not leaving. He's paid if you haven't given any stuff yet. I can't walk out of that.
you know all the
I want to
coins,
prevent
all the
from
coins
leaving.
that we found in the Goblin Cave. Who's got them?
I think he has.
I'm fairly sure, yeah.
Yeah, Alistair, have you got the
Alistair,
coins from the Goblin
I'll pick
Cave?
those up.
Coins from the Goblin Cave. Yeah. I think I did. I wrote the thing down.
I've written it down, but I know
Ah,
I
here we go,
don't.
yeah.
Well, as far as we definitely
Yeah.
didn't.
Yeah, I've got it here. Yeah.
Cool.
600 copper, 110 silver,
Yeah.
small
Cool.
jade,
I stuck it all
statue
up
of
into a
frog,
bag,
and
but I can't remember who.
2 green potions.
Yeah.
So
To what, sorry?
2 green potions, 600 copper, 110 silver, small jade, statue of a frog.
Okay, that's cool. Okay, well, all this seems to be unloaded wherever he supposedly wants it. Suppose we should head inside. As you head inside, and you see Sildar freeze up for a moment, and then head inside. As you two see Tim like hulking behind you, and slightly scraping against the top of the ceiling, like, oh,
I'm turning
over here.
sideways to scrape through the doorway.
Hello, could I help you?
Tug.
It's okay, they're with us.
This
Oh,
is
hey.
Tim.
Oh, you poor souls.
Tim's very nice.
You be careful what you say. He's the reason we got here in the first place.
Tim. And this
I,
is Sildar.
I weren't talking about the giant reptilian feller. No, I was talking about the the small, barely threatening man. Of course, that guy, you poor people for having to work with him.
Do you know him?
No.
And why are you apologetic and was working with him?
As he just kind of gives furtive glances towards Tim, just
Can I
like,
roll?
I'm
Can I roll insight? I don't
trying
know.
to get me killed.
No, he's fine.
He won't hurt you. I can't think
He
about
is-
the man behind
Can
him.
I, can I roll insight? on it?
as he reaches over and just kind of wraps his fist on the shell, it's like,
Six-packing shell.
Well, you yourself might not be valuable. Let's just say your hide might be.
I lean down to him and say, everyone is valuable.
Aww.
Oh my god, no, so adorable and so threatening.
as he just like,
Terrifying
he's
thing.
a lanky fellow, like, and you've just basically bent down to look at a tall fellow. He's just like,
Tim, stop trying to scare the man.
I don't know if he is.
Are you gonna leave now? Boy, please.
as he just kind of scrabbles back to behind the desk and he just kind of hunches a little bit, just like, protect me, wood.
Wait,
Don't want to take
the
your
wood won't save you.
Let's go.
You'll be wanting my mumbo jumbo skunk business for that.
You're very right about that. Go visit somebody who knows about that
Could you
stuff.
point me in the right direction?
Down in the middle of the town, I suppose. I don't know. Just all I say is, careful of the red brands. Don't stir up trouble and leave my name out of it.
What is your name, Mr.
Certainly.
Shaky Man?
No, you
Oh.
don't know my name. That's the best way for it.
Okay, Mr. Shaky Man.
Shit, they
Goodbye,
know me by
Barton.
that.
Is there a blacksmith in this town?
Oh yeah, there's the Loin Shield Coster.
The Lion Shield.
Careful there though.
The Lion Shield.
Loin Shield
Loin-
Coster. Are you making fun of me?
Okay, I pulled back
No.
out the shield, the lion's head on a red shield. Seriously.
Roll me perception.
16.
You see Zelda visibly freeze up at revealing that, and then immediately just goes back to a relaxed stance.
Can I roll to see if I see that?
Sure.
No.
What did you roll? What did you roll?
12.
Yeah, you didn't see a thing.
What was the name of the church? Or did you say the name of the church? Or was it just all praying?
It's just a shrine to tomorrow.
Shrine tomorrow. Okay.
Tim still thinks tomorrow is the day after today.
Yeah, but there you can get supplies. I've still no idea what that is. Yeah, but watch out, Lenine Grey when she's a bit paranoid. So careful if you go down there, especially you, big feller.
Okay.
I don't know. But best of luck to you with whatever you're going to do in this place. I don't know.
Well, your goods are out the back. You need to get them loaded up to go to the next place.
Oh, of course. Hopefully the pigs ain't eating them.
Do pigs eat metal?
Oh, pigs will eat anything if they're hungry enough.
Oh.
What do you think I'm not out there?
Oh, well, there's not much meat on you.
Thank you, I think. Are you not aware of what a compliment is?
Or a threat.
So what?
I
It's
don't
what-
think Tim knows what
they're
a lot
what-
of things
isn't
are.
isn't that what you like? You put on stuff like
We've
a
only known
sauce.
him for a day.
Yeah, true.
That's
Yeah.
a condiment. You.
Oh.
Never mind. Out of my business. Okay. I will see you soon. Okay. Goodbye. Hope to never be seen again.
Okay.
Make them into a song.
Hope to never be seen again. Goodbye.
Right, sir.
As you just kind of
Pass on our
scrape on the ceiling.
thanks to Rockseeker for the heads up.
If you say so.
He doesn't know we got here alive, does he not?
Who?
Rockseeker.
I ain't
Gundren.
seen him. I ain't seen him.
And I roll for insight.
Well,
I ain't seen him in a couple of months now.
right.
I just got the commission. That's all I
Well, if he
said.
turns up, let him know we got here alive, no thanks to him.
Sounds like you've got grievances to bear against him.
Well, I wouldn't say that. The dwarves, not the most forgiving of nature towards each other, you know. One
True.
dwarf harms another.
I suppose
Yeah,
that's
of
true
course.
enough. Good luck to you.
Is this what we do?
As you just see him disappear behind the counter again,
That stuff we have.
and just seemingly you hear.
Oh, bloody hell.
I'm guessing you guys are leaving.
I am
Yeah,
still
yeah.
outside, yes.
I'm just standing in the street.
Yeah.
You're just stood there like,
Just T-posing.
So
I'm just
do-
looking around.
Waiting for for a connection.
So do we think this Halia has anything to do with the purple man in the forest?
There's a lot of purple people around.
There is a lot of purple people around.
Frankly, the less about them I know, the more I like them.
There's more purple people?
Apparently so,
I'm going to
Tim.
assume you just filled me in on everything that was said so
Yeah.
that we don't have to roleplay through
Yeah,
Tim.
yeah,
Just relay everything.
That's the whole, the whole episode is you
Purple
guys
person.
trying to relate to
Purple
Tim.
woman, purple man with green hair. There we go, sorted. He told us to stay
And
away.
the ear collector.
The ear collector.
Oh, well, I
Who
don't
may
have...
or may not have relation to Alistair.
I don't have any ears.
There we go, send him to talk to the ear collector.
As you're just having this conversation, you see the occasional red brand thug wandering through the streets and giving you kind of the weird side eye, but nothing particularly out of the ordinary. You see no villagers moving about. You just see them seemingly kind of clearing out their own
I
houses.
give the guard a polite nod.
His stare hardens as he walks past.
And I spin my beard coin.
Okay.
Roll initiative.
The coin
You're
attacks.
dead now.
The coin leaps out of the beard and attacks. Right. Well, I would like to head to the chapel.
Before we go, I hand to him. Here's 120 copper and 22 silver from what we found in the cave.
Oh,
Fair
yeah.
share.
Thank you.
And I do the everyone else.
So what was
Well,
that?
120 copper
'Roll
120
me
copper.
a perception, Alistair.
and 120 silver, was it?
Oh, it's going to go great. Oh, that's might go grow.
I think it's 22.
21.
As you are handing out
120
these
copper
coins and
and-
seemingly have your hands full,
Yeah.
you spot that your waist suddenly feels lighter as you're shink, and then you turn around and see a small little halfling child darting into the side streets and as you look to your side, you see that your coin purse is gone.
So I've lost all 7 gold.
Is this after he's handed it to the stuff to us?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously waiting for the moment when his hands were full and occupied.
Okay.
And I go off after him then.
Okay.
So that little sod just taking my money. And I sprint.
Don't you hurt him! I shout.
Okay, roll me.
I'm not Tim!
Roll me in athletics.
Oh no. Acrobatics, you said?
Yep.
No.
No, not acrobatics.
said athletics.
Athletics. Oh, that's even worse.
Oh, God.
Yeah, 4.
Okay, as you see him just dart through the sides and seemingly just jump over detritus and everything throughout the streets, you seemingly barrel into it. You're just like, are you still pursuing, or actually roll me a con check?
Oh, that was better.
Much better. Constitution, where is it? 20.
As you barrel into the detritus and there's a crash, huge crash, the wind is not particularly knocked out of you. You're just like, oh. Do you want to carry on pursuing?
What's the distance on Mage Hand?
It
30.
wouldn't be able to hold
30
him.
feet,
It
I imagine.
can't hold much.
Yeah, I was just thinking like more for just a way of stop. Oh,
Trip-
I don't have
trip
anything
him up,
that's.
trip
You
him
probably
up with
barreled through it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not helping with this.
it. Snatch the purse back.
No, I can offer is a crossbow. That's not particularly helpful in this situation.
How public are we right now?
You're in the side streets. Nobody particularly noticing anything.
Can I
You
do
see-
a?
You think you see maybe a 1 or 2 figures with
Yeah.
with their heads covered with hoods. That's about it.
Can I do a very minuscule fireball in front of him, just like the just the next?
Roll me an attack.
That's my spell type bonus. Yeah.
Nothing I can do.
Oh
to help
god,
this.
25. That is to not hit.
Oh no! As you've just gone and just fired it off, he darts to the side of somebody throwing out some rubbish, and suddenly the back of him just goes and immolates
What?
up. Roll me damage.
Oh, no.
That was meant to miss.
That was a hell of a roll, though.
How far am I from the chapel? I want to go straight there.
Wouldn't that
I've got a
add to
lot to
my-
You rolled
confess.
really high though.
Will that add to my aim
You
of
rolled
not
very
hitting?
high.
I'm trying to find.
Well
Roll
No,
a
Tim's
D10,
still
mate.
staring at his
roll a
fuck.
D10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tim's
Five
got
also a
Jesus.
D10.
1, 2.
This is-
Oh,
I was
one.
wondering why you decided
One.
to do that.
That's what I was aiming to go around, not hit
So
him,
the
like
next
hit
If
time
you'd
him.
rolled
you
low,
see
that
how
would have
far
worked.
it
Oh,
would
for
take
God's
out.
sake! Oh God,
What?
that would have 7.
Dead child.
Oh.
As you suddenly
Oh.
immolate the back of the child, you hear a quick and there is no motion from the child anymore.
Is there-
Alistair, what did you do?
I tried to
There's still
miss,
a body.
but somehow I'm very
It's a
fucking
very
good way.
charred body, but yes, there is not
Okay.
much left.
Can I roll for optimism to see if I think I can heal it?
Ah.
You don't even know you went into the chapel, were you?
Yeah, I know. No,
You
no,
weren't
I
there.
heard. No, I'm not there.
Oh, what
Oh, dear. Oh, dear.
is not right.
I love that he's like, oh man.
He
I was-
like, that's when
it
I
was a
used the
scare
bad
tactic.
roll."
I was never meant to go anywhere near him.
You rolled a 25.
You were so focused on not hitting him
But you
went-
actually
No,
ended
you
up
went
hitting him.
straight past him. As he sighted out of the way of the oncoming.
Just like,
Person.
ah, rubbish.
That is
Oh my god.
absolute-
You absolutely missed. The
B.
fact that he ran into it.
Yeah, you went
Rubbish.
completely off
I mean,
course,
hindsight.
and he
Oh.
jumped off
Oh
course.
dear.
Unfortunate. Oh man. So yeah, roll me for roll perception, Caboyne.
14.
You heard a squeal and then suddenly smelled charred meat.
Oh goodness.
As you just saw Alistair run behind, and then you just hear, ah!
I mean,
Is he done?
I
Well,
don't know, you
were-
well,
Oh, check.
Yeah, I'm gonna run up and check like shit.
Varus isn't here, so who's throwing fireballs?
Oh, I hate myself for this. Yeah.
Roughly how far away?
I mean-
Is he? Can I
You're
like, do a
about 20
check?
feet
I
away.
don't move fast.
Can I do a check on him?
Roll me a medicine check.
Oh god, this is when it's gonna go horribly wrong.
Oh no.
Oh, wait, why is this going? This is medicine. 17.
There is a faint heartbeat.
I'm going to do a health potion on him.
A what?
We don't know that.
Oh no, I've done the
We
health
don't know
potions.
the health potions.
How do you know they're health
Yeah,
potions?
I just
defeated two
assumed.
in his
Yeah, that's me
throat burns out.
accidentally
Oh my God.
metagaming. Oh fuck.
I'm torn. I'm gonna.
Did
coin
you-
toss
did you
if I
run
go
around?
I'm guessing
down.
you're catching up.
Well, I
Yeah.
don't know how much of it. I heard a
Shut
squeal. I
up!
don't know who
Can
did
you
it.
hear?
I was
Heal.
gonna say I've gone after.
I don't know who
You
did it.
followed.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I thought
I've
it came
seen
from
this
behind.
happen.
You've seen this and just been like, good lord.
If I go whether it'll help or not and do cure wounds. Let's see if it will help.
I really didn't mean to hurt him.
That is a 5.
So
to
he's
heal.
back. So as you lay your hand upon his obviously burned back, the wounds close up and there's no longer that charred smell anymore. As just it completely, the skin just heals over, and then there's a moment of what the hell?
It's okay,
Stop.
it's okay.
That was. I'm so sorry.
Alistair, shut up.
Roll me a dex.
Oh, for God's
Is this conversation within hearing range for me or not? 20 feet.
bloody hell, 19.
Yeah, he throws 4 coin purses at you, and you catch each of them as he goes, just take it all! Just take it all!
Wait. Where?
As he's just now hunched up against the back, and you see him wince slightly as his back is against the wall. Maybe heal, but it's still sore.
Yeah.
Did you
That-
walk
I
up?
didn't-
I'm
that
still
was-
too far to hear
That was meant to
conversation.
go
I heard
completely
a
opposite direction. It's more of a
scream,
scare tactic, not actual
and you
hit.
didn't
I am
walk
so
towards
sorry.
it.
That was
You
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
wonderful aim then!
Alistair, I think you make it worse. Go.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I don't think I'm in hearing
Sorry.
range, so I can't. Hear.
It's okay. What's your name?
Grab.
Okay. Go home.
I
If you
drop
have
all
a
the
home.
bags.
You haven't even finished the sentence, and he just went and skedaddled.
So me dropping the bags in front is he's gone.
Oh, he's gone.
He's gone.
He was like, take the money. I don't give a
What
shit.
did you do?
Okay,
He
I
stole
hear
my
that. That was loud. That I hear.
He stole my coin purse.
Well, remind me never to steal from you.
I was aiming for the complete far right of him.
And how did that go for you,
He jumped
Alistair?
into it.
At this point, I'm just about caught up.
I
decided
wish
know
among the
voices.
music I had was whackity schmackity doo.
Wait, who's
Fine.
stealing? What's going on?
Now! It's fine.
I
think
have
you're
followed
leaving
back
the
the
down.
coin person.
Huh?
You're leaving the coin person?
No, I'm not going to leave them where they were because some random person's going to take them.
Ooh, look at that.
No, I'm not going to keep them. Just wait if I see the
You
kid.
keep yours and we'll sort the others out.
Well, if you've
Yeah.
got coin to spare, I know a chapel who might fancy the donation.
I mean, I could use. I need to go visit the blacksmith. I feel
Roll
like she might
perceptions, by the way.
Oh God.
not- They usually require money.
Oh no.
No,
17.
10.
Hey!
17?
10.
17.
7.
So between the two of you, you've got Oscar.
Some terrible Tim rolls there.
You're doing
Natural.
so well.
That was a 2.
Ah.
I was like, okay, I've got to roll high. That means I'll miss. Nope.
You perfectly missed where he was running into, and then you just.
Oh my God.
But again, I didn't know you did that, so in my book, you're still okay. If I'd seen that, we might be.
I was going to say, I think I managed the situation now.
Alice is very
I
distraught.
want you to pass this to Daniel once you've read it.
Yeah.
Has someone been cooking burgers? It smells delicious.
Oh dear.
Okay.
So we're going to be arrested, and I'm going to die. Who's ready for some execution?
Alright, yeah, that's fine. I'm okay with that. That's all good.
Okay.
Do you want it back, or can I keep that as we go?
Oh no, you
Okay.
do whatever you
Keep
want.
it.
It's just a piece of paper.
Okay, we share a glance.
Like, just a knowing glance, like,
I go to speak and then. Oh. Alright.
So,
Yeah, I'm gone.
okay. Roll me athletics, everyone.
I'm not running, I'm going to the chapel.
I'm gonna guess you don't want to be in the vicinity.
Well, no, but I'm not
There
going
you
to.
go.
I don't want to run
14.
in a conspicuous
No.
manner.
I don't know what's happened.
Oh no.
Then we got to go.
Okay, where are we going?
Anywhere but here.
Okay. Are you all running away?
Yeah.
In that case, I will follow them at the same speed.
What's your passive perception?
15.
Yeah, you start to hear the sounds of footfalls of somebody approaching and somebody quite heavy.
Do they sound heavier than me?
Nothing sounds heavier than you.
except maybe the Albert.
Yeah,
Okay, if those guys are running, I follow them.
Okay, who is carrying the coin pouches now? Are you carrying them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give them over.
Yeah.
I sort of I
Do you want
carry
to give them to you?
Yeah, give them over. I carry them obviously, as though like I've just been given them. Right, and I'm doing a jog. I'm only on a 9. I'm doing a low
It's only a
jog.
brisk
or-
jog.
Yeah.
Just a
that's
kind
it.
of a casual. I'm just gonna take these off to the chapel now.
Oh dear.
Athletics.
Wonderful.
I didn't know what's going on. I heard a shout. I ran over. You told me to stop teaching. I stopped speaking.
Yeah, we don't know that you burnt the kid.
That is true.
Shoot it does.
Yeah, I do.
Okay,
but I
as you
I'm
guys-
it's fine.
As you guys all kind of seemingly run through separate side streets and just hoping to get to somewhere that, well, hopefully there will be some safety, you, Tim, see a small halfling child running seemingly towards up the hill where a lot of large trees are. You also see two seemingly
I've
largish
fixed a wall.
buildings. You
And I am taking no part.
I'm sorry, it's accidentally a war.
You, Daniel, are running through the side streets and you just find yourself in seemingly the town square.
Mhm.
You two, however, you seem to have gone through two different side streets and diverted into collectively together as you stop and you see stood there a fellow in a red cloak
Yeah.
with the hood pulled down and gold armour covering his body.
Oh God.
As he looks to you and roll me perceptions.
I don't care anymore. Natural 20, apparently I do.
Yeah, I got 11.
I don't like care.
Oh.
As you look and you see that he is completely covered in elaborate gold armor with a golden sword, and you see that he seems to be wearing a necklace covered in different variations of ears.
My
You're
body.
okay.
In
All
my,
the
in my,
now.
I'm just like,
You've got only
I
got
just
one left to
bowed.
lose.
As he looks to you, and you see that he's kind of just got a grizzled face with a bald head, he just plucks an ear off of his necklace and places it on a barrel by the side street. And then looks at both of you and just walks away down a side street to the left.
That's quite eerie.
Oh, sorry. Oh,
And all the tension is gone.
oh.
Destroyed.
You worked so
Sorry.
hard on that.
I know, I'm so sorry.
Alright,
Don't
that's
blame
alright.
him.
I'm still
Alright,
fine.
the reactions are the
I waited
reactions.
until he was gone.
The reactions are the
I
reactions.
mean,
Essentially, that is just Alice just nope, and just
and walk the opposite way
Yeah.
away. He's just
So you go down the right side street instead. Is that either of you going to
Yeah.
want that eerie left behind?
You know what this is?
I don't
Alistair?
know.
You've been
Part of
earmarked
me
for
wants
death.
to, but
Oh.
the other part of me is like, no.
Yeah.
I'll get. I go to look and then I kind of go. I go to walk and I kind of turn around and go.
I wait a few seconds to see what happens.
Alistair, I
Nothing.
think
There's
that
just
we
the
need to look at
silence.
the ear.
Just the silence of a side street.
No, it's probably an ear that's just going to tell something that we already know. Well, I already know. I'm in the shit.
Shall we just go then?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Okay, as you ignore what he has placed on the barrel, you go towards one of the side streets to the right, and
As I'm walking, I keep like checking back to make sure nothing's appeared
roll
on the
perception.
barrel.
The most
Shall I do
suspicious
that?
way of
Can I do
walking
that as well?
anywhere.
Sure.
That's a natural 20.
Doesn't matter, but 3. No, wait. No, hold on. Wait. Perception. 7.
You see a red cloak very slowly walking the opposite direction away from you.
Okay, that's it. Just keep
Okay.
walking.
And as you walk to the side, you find yourselves out into the village town. And as you look towards your left, you see that there is a seemingly inn that's very broken windows, and a sign hanging off by one chain. And it seems to be called the, what's the word for it? I can't remember these names. These names are elaborate. The
I'm nowhere near
Sleeping
this.
Giant.
No. I'm looking at trees.
And as you look towards
Yeah,
the
I feel
back,
like
you
someone
see
mentioned
that
earlier.
on the outside are several red brands,
Or like standing outside it.
just seemingly stood outside enjoying a drink.
Okay.
And as you look further up, you see that there is a hill that leads up and out towards a huge hill, and you see a big, elaborate manor at the top, with seemingly a cloud of darkness covering it.
They just attack the person who owns that man's son or something. Oh,
The
God.
what?
You
No, that's the matter.
Oh, no, it's
That
like
kid
forest.
is-
Oh,
No.
yeah.
His mansion.
That kid
Richie
is
Rich.
the mansion.
Here's the mansion, fool.
Oh, God. I probably attacked the worst possible person by accident. How do I manage to get a 25 on an accidental hit? Oh, my God.
If you
Only
wanted,
you,
if
mate.
you wanted to hit him, it would never have happened.
Exactly.
I'm going to throw it at this guy.
It's
Oh,
whatever
look, a
I
one.
don't want to happen happens. Oh, my God.
Is
Such
the hill,
wonderful
is the
luck.
hill that they're looking at the same hill that I could see?
No.
Okay.
That's a different hill.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this one you see just in a huge mansion at the very top. You can see it kind of dilapidated windows, a little bit destroyed. However, as you look a little closer, you see a cloud
Like a
of
cloud
darkness
over the
above
top
it.
of it.
It just seemingly almost kind of blocks the eye from truly making out the details of it.
Oh, that looks suspicious.
That's a word for it. Oh, hold on.
Oh, love it.
I don't know a lot of words.
Oh dear.
Not a lot of clever words.
Oh,
She
dear.
just sings nursery rhymes.
I'm still a young
Okay, so I saw a halfling kid run up a
Yeah, you
hill.
saw him running seemingly up towards
Was
a
the
hill coated
Trail
in
of
large
smoke
Was the
trees.
behind
scent of
him.
burning coming from him? Did he
No,
smell
because I
cooked?
sealed the wound.
There was no smells of
clothes.
cooking anymore.
Okay. He was
Although he
running
did
up-
have a slightly burned like shirt on his back.
Okay. He was running up to some trees and some houses.
2 houses and a large amount of trees.
Does it look like that's like out of town way? He's sort of heading out
Seemingly
of the-
towards the outskirts of town, but there does
I'm
seem to be
not
that
dealing
gate
with that well.
cutting off still.
Okay.
I mean, you've just
Can I
told
not
us all about the death of your sister.
Yeah.
And
All I
you've
saw
just
was
maimed
all I
the
saw
child.
was
a
It's
kid
like,
running
your
up the hill.
brain is like...
All I saw was a kid running up the hill.
Oh yeah, it is.
I don't know it's that kid, so I don't know anything
You
about
just
that.
saw a kid.
So,
A rather short kid.
okay, so I'm going to turn around and sort of walk back towards
count
towards what
times
looks
with
like
his
a
intelligence.
busier area of town.
Fair enough.
He knows a lot, but he's
I'm
stupid.
going to
with it.
attempt to try to find these guys, but keeping an eye out for the blacksmith as well.
Okay. Okay. As you're just wandering through town, you're just kind of like, Okay, so roll perception, a Kaboy.
14.
14. Okay. As you're looking through the town centre, you see what seems to be a very rough, damaged building towards the side, but you do see the very elaborate arches of what seem to have been, or at one point, what's the word for it? Stained glass.
Okay.
And as you look, it seems like there seems to have been a symbol, a holy symbol of some kind, that's half of it has been snapped away.
Right.
Whatever this place is, it is in horrible
Well, I'm
disrepair.
heading there.
Okay.
I'm gonna. As I'm coming up the town centre, so I stop running, ready to run.
Okay,
on
there
short
is,
legs.
there is a closed door still.
Okay. I reach out a hand.
Okay.
I still have my hands, I think. Didn't lose them. And I knock twice on the door.
Doom, doom. It reverberates and there is a heavy echo behind the door. And then you just hear and a very frail, rather frightened looking elven woman with pointed features looks out with blonde hair, and you see a big streak of white through her hair. Can I help you?
Would you be Sister Uriel?
Who?
We'll take that as a no. May I come in?
Of course. As she looks down and notices the way you are adorned, the altar to tomorrow is always welcome to you.
Alright, thank you.
Just opens it
Thank you,
out,
sister.
and you see that there is it is horrible worm-chewed benches. A pew is stood there, barely raised, and half of it seems to have been carved out. And everything is just in horrible, mossy, moist disdain and disrepair.
What happened to this place?
Lack of interest, and people were taken. It is not fair.
It is awful.
We once had a good, functioning sect that worshipped tomorrow here,
Aye.
but we were seen for one purpose in regards to the weapons. As she kind of just pulls back her green shawl, just to bring some air to cool herself down a little. And as you look over, you see that there is huge lines under her eyes, and this elf seems aged beyond her years.
Are you the only one here?
At this point, unfortunately, I am the only one left. We were seen for one purpose by the Urabans. We were healers. However, they did not want to pay for said services.
Aye.
And you know that the cost of healing without pay, or without the monetary gain, costs years.
I idly flick the coin in my beard.
You will find that, well, as she gestures towards the side, and you see several very well-robed skeletons, seemingly of that same kind of green gold of Tamora. I am all that remains.
I came here too late.
That you came here at all is a miracle, I am aware of that.
I want to approach the skeletons.
Oh, the skeletons, okay. You approach the skeletons and you see that they're kind of just... It's
Are
like...
they open-eyed or are they...
The skeletons.
And it's
skeletons.
a safety name for me off. Yeah.
Open-eyed?
Just the head. Just the heads, yeah.
Yeah, the jaw's kind of just like...
Right. I reach a
Knocked
hand
off
out to each, mutter a small blessing of passage to each skeleton.
You almost hear like a breath vacate each of the skeletons' mouths with a...
I bow my head for a second.
I appreciate that you were able to give them some form of rest.
Just the least I could do.
It is the least you could do.
I look over to the altar, make my way that way.
As you look over, there is a very mossy kind of dishevelled book.
Okay.
with the symbol of tomorrow.
I reach a hand towards it. May I?
You have our order, of course. Go right ahead.
Slide a hand under the book and lift it. Use the other to scrape off the moss from the surface.
Roll me a sleight of hand.
That's a 1.
The book falls apart in your hands
Oh,
as you lift it, and there's a as it shreds. And Sister Gorel just looks at you like,
Seems her fortune has left us.
"There's not much left here."
I take a coin out of one of the pouches I was carrying and place it on the altar.
You got all the pouches, remember?
Yeah.
Okay, right. So
Yeah, no, I've taken a coin out of whichever
Yeah.
one looks the most heavy. Take a coin out and place it on the altar.
As you just see her reach for her own necklace of tomorrow, and clench it deeply in her hand. Just, everything is for a reason. Everything is for a reason.
I place a hand on her shoulder. Everything, sister.
You've got to reach that shoulder.
Oh no, yeah, okay. I can't reach fair enough. Fair point. In the small of her back.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Elves are tall.
Now it's not all. She just clutches on it, and you just see her knuckles go white with the grip.
As the robe disintegrates.
Right. Blasted Tim, you're not here.
I shouldn't be laughing. Oh,
And she slowly turns to dust.
Tim, stop it.
You're the bad hand, I'm never leaving.
Nice. As you just hear, and now she begins whispering something. Do you speak Elvish?
Do I speak Elvish?
Don't
No.
Oh, of course not. Okay. And she just seems to be muttering something to
No, I
herself.
speak Celestial, but that's...
She seems to be muttering something to herself. You can't make out the words.
Are there any candles around? Any incense
Burned away.
burned away?
There are some that you think there's some left, but it just seems to have just dripped and
Okay,
all
I
out
walk.
the side.
I walk back out to the altar. I take a few more coins out of the pouch and I arrange them in a circle, head side up. I take a stick of incense out and I light it and set it down in the centre.
Damn it, you've already got inspiration. Okay. And I take it you're lighting the candle.
I light the candle. Yes.
Okay, as you light the candle, her grip seems to slacken as she looks up and smells the incense as it wafts through the altar with a greenish plume to it.
We will recover from this. We have tomorrow's blessing.
Roll me persuasion with advantage.
Natural 20.
Yes, we will. Know that if you ever need shelter, Sister Gorel will be here to help you.
Thank you.
Should you require healing, I will be willing to give my life to help.
Well, you are truly worthy.
As
Have my
I,
respect.
as are you, dear dwarf.
Can I just take her name, please? How you-
Sister Gorel. Okay. So, back to what you guys were doing.
What? Killing more children?
No.
More kids come out of the woodwork.
I've got a taste for it now.
I have a taste for a
You're
child.
not letting this
Peaceful
happen. She's got a
inflection
younger
happening on
brother.
one side of the city, and then on the other, there were screaming children.
War zone.
And in the middle,
And ears being placed everywhere.
Yeah.
Oh dear, oh dear.
I want to get out of this. I want to get outside. No.
We
Not
could go-
even
We
words.
could go hide at that house.
No.
No. Maybe we
don't-
should find the other. I really don't know what to do with you right now.
Not me neither.
Oh dear, oh dear.
Like, he's just stood there. She was like,
Just kind of like
yeah, okay, what do we do
thinking,
now?
fuck, I almost did to someone else what a bear did to my sister.
Set fire to her?
Killed it.
Yeah, true enough.
Potato, it's still dead.
Potato, burnt potato.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Right, okay, so as you're...
I like try and reason with him. The kid's fine. He's gone.
It's fine.
Yes, you've done what you've done, and we can't change that now. I fixed it. Let's carry on.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay.
Otherwise, I'm going to slap you.
Oh, love it.
Do you take down from that vicious mockery?
Oh,
I'll take
dear.
some mental damage.
So it's
Some,
like
there's some mental
psychological.
scarring. I'm like on mentality of 15 now.
Your intelligence is reduced by 2.
Right, we either need to find the others or we need to do something.
I'm gonna. Where is like out of sight?
Out of sight.
Yeah.
The side alleys.
Not going back down there.
Yeah, don't think
That's
you
where
would.
the area. What's he in like? Is it just got the red?
The
All
inn just
the red
it seems to
cloaks
have a lot
outside
of
the
red
red-
brands there.
The red brands
Nope.
are all outside the.
Oh, let's go find the others. Let's go find the others.
Okay, as you
Right,
head.
well, we know that Caboyne's probably gone to the chapel.
Let's go to chapel. I think. Yeah.
Okay, so you head back
I might have found
away
Jesus.
from, I'm guessing, the darkened hill.
Yeah.
Away, and you see the occasional person wandering through town, seemingly looking for scraps, that kind of thing. None of them look well fed at all. They look very, what's the word for it? Not dishevelled. What's the word for it?
Malnourished.
Malnourished. That's it. Malnourished. Thank you, Alec. Yes, and they're all looking very dilapidated in their features, all kind of sunken flesh, as they're all kind of looking for anything really that is sustainable food. And you see that each of the red brands, as they wander about, you see that they look very healthy. Something's going on there. And as you roll perception,
Both of us.
Yeah.
Natural 20 again.
That doesn't
Nice.
matter. Well, I got
I'm so tense right now to see everything.
17.
Okay, and as you are just looking out, you see a fellow leant against one of the lantern posts. It isn't lit. It's too early in the day for that. As you see him just leant there, and you see he's wearing a black cloak that completely covers his body, and as you get closer, he notices you and pulls back his hood, and there is a deep grin on his purple face with his green hair.
Oh, for God's sake.
As he just looks at you with deep, piercing blue eyes.
Can't deal with more plot right now. I'm trying to get away from everything.
Oh, he doesn't do anything, just
Just smiles at us.
nods welcome to you.
I think.
And just head down.
You
walls.
just keep walking.
Yeah.
The deep hood.
Pulls
I
the
was
hood
going to say,
down
have
to
you
his
got a
chest.
hood on your cloak? Have you got a cloak?
Yeah. Yeah.
Love it. Yep, he just...
Somebody threw a fireball. I don't know who, but that man has got a really large hat on.
You just feel him watching you as you walk past.
Yeah.
And then you spot a rather large turtle fellow just wandering through the rooms.
Hi, Tim.
Hello. His choice is completely changed.
He's handed
Hi!
Did I spot anything while I was searching?
You've just been wandering through, noticing a lot of people just kind of begging for change, coming up to you, but then backing away
Okay,
as they
so
see
then-
that you've got giant claws.
So I didn't find any clues to a blacksmith or anything.
Not that you could find.
Oh, hey guys, what's up?
Not much.
Oh,
Guy with an ear.
what?
Guy pulled an ear off his necklace. Pretty freaky.
That's weird.
We saw the other purple man.
I almost killed a child.
Shh, he doesn't need to know that.
I mean,
Roll me a stealth.
why?
Oh, what? Oh, for God's sake. No. 8 and plus some stuff. 12.
Yeah, a red brand just immediately just looks at you,
Figure of speech.
and immediately just walks away, just like, we bastards everywhere.
Alistair, stop saying it.
Still trying to deal with this.
Saying it isn't going to help you.
Why did you do that?
I don't know.
I thought you were nice.
Me too.
Okay, we established that Alistair may not be nice. And yes, but it's sorted. Okay, I healed him, he's gone home, it's fine.
Oh, okay. It sounds like everything's copacetic.
You need to find good boy.
Oh, I think he probably went to the temple.
That's what I think.
I was just wandering, looking for interesting things. Like,
Did
you
you
know,
find
is there a place
anything
to stay?
interesting?
Is there
There's
I
an,
need to find a blacksmith.
there's an inn back there, but they're covered in red brand right now.
In what?
The people with the red clothes.
Oh, well, they look nice.
No.
Nope. Nope. One just pulled off an ear and
You
pissed
really
on
need
it.
to stay away from
One of them just plucked off an ear of his necklace. It's called the ear.
the ear collector.
Yeah, ear collector.
I mean,
I wonder what he does.
maybe they were
I know.
maybe they
He's
were
not very good at collecting.
maybe they were trophies. You know,
He speaks
sometimes we
English.
like to keep trophies, although mine been eaten.
They might be trophies, but
Right.
he didn't look
Let's
very nice.
let's
So,
let's
okay.
He didn't look like you. Let's put it that way.
Not many people do out here.
He didn't look.
Does,
Anyway, to the pool. Oh, I'm giving. Shooter's like giving up
I
the will
found
to
my
live right now.
focus.
I'm like, let's just carry it. Like we need.
This is
We
more
need to
stress than
find
I.
Kaboin. Who's the one that's going to make sense of this now?
Sure. Okay.
Oh.
Well, okay. Let's go find Kaboin. I'm sure
As
if
you
we
head
look
further
around, we
through-
can find a temple.
As you head further through the town square, you find that same dishevelled chapel, and you have that faint smell of incense, and you think, okay, something must be going on in there. As you wander in, you find Kaboin there.
hello, welcome to the temple.
Hi.
Oh, hello.
Hey, Kaboin.
Oh,
They are friends of yours?
Yes, they've travelled with me here.
Ah, welcome, welcome. You are all welcome here if you are in the name of Timora.
Thank you, sister. If you need to rest, we will take it from here.
Her look is just like, oh, I would kiss you if you weren't a dwarf. And she just immediately goes back into the back rooms, and you just hear nothing, no sound, just.
Who was that?
I can't pronounce the names. Sister
A
Gabrielle.
universal problem. Sister Garail.
Gabrielle, I spelled her name.
Gabrielle.
I'm so sorry. Sister Gabrielle. She looked after this place.
she seems
Did
nice.
did she?
What happened?
He says,
here?
looking around at it.
Will not have you respect our chapel. She did the best she could.
What happened here?
Okay, I guess maybe her
Red brands forced into the cave.
skills were elsewhere.
Took what they could. Worked the clerics to their death. I take a deep breath of the incense to try and calm myself down.
Roll me a con.
It's 19.
Did a pretty good job of calming you.
The incense helped.
The incense helped.
Ah.
Oh, hey, there's some bones over there.
They used to work here. They were clerics, like myself.
Oh, you're not that bone.
Well, I haven't been forced to work beyond my means.
Well, that seems not nice.
Oh, it's not. They're resting now.
Do we think we have? Is there a chance that if the Red Brads saw us here, they could come and take advantage of you?
Would they have reason to come and follow you here?
No, not at all.
Okay, suspicion.
Rolling insight.
Apart
Wrong
from,
section is-
apart from maybe when he almost killed a child.
11.
Doesn't matter now.
They're up to something.
Doesn't matter now. He just blurted it out.
That squeal I heard on my way here, that wouldn't have anything to do with you, would it?
It's
I'm asking
fine.
you here.
It's
Otherwise-
fine, Kaboy. It's been dealt with.
Dealt with.
I love it.
Is it still breathing?
Yes,
No.
because of me.
Oh.
He's gone home.
He's gone home. Who's he gone to tell?
I love it.
You can't start up here attacking children, you know.
I didn't mean to.
I'm sure you didn't. Sure you didn't.
Why don't you go and take a seat
Yeah,
somewhere,
I sit down on
Alistair?
one. I sit down on one of the booths.
Wait, be careful with those.
Yeah, I was gonna say the sturdier looking ones.
Wrong perception.
Fuck. Oh, for God's sake. 9.
Seems pretty sturdy.
Sure.
As you place yourself down, you just sink through the seat.
That's
That's the one.
It's just the sodden wood just crumples under your weight.
just still sit there. Just, that's about right.
You haven't seen any new wood saws on your way here, have you? Get this place built back up again.
No.
We passed quite a lot of wood back in the forest.
I will. Maybe in a couple of years.
Oh boy.
I'd nearly be able to, just in despair. I rest my forehead. Presumably it's high up. It's built.
Roll me a religion check.
Oh. Natural one.
You just suddenly hear,
I know, right?
You suddenly lose faith.
actually, as you hear that and you just think, that was weird,
Mm.
you suddenly feel cold. You feel like that a coldness seemingly take the room.
Is that including me?
No, only he feels this.
him.
Is that
And as you look
That's
upon
fine.
the altar of Tamora, you see that
Get back to my feet.
the green glow of it is seemingly shrinking and fading. As you see that there is purple smoke seemingly forming around the very phrase
Not here.
of the insignia.
Not here.
And as you roll perception,
21.
as you're just like, uh-oh, you hear a very faint and as you just see the smoke seemingly flow through the floor and just waft towards the skeletons. And you see it just seemingly encapsulate around them, swirling, seemingly trying to penetrate through any kind of hole left in them. However, you just see it again removes with a faint green glow. As you see it just flow back into the ground and then go back to the altar and just raise up and look at you. And you see two very distinct white glows staring at you.
What are you doing here?
I assume you know. I'm looking. And I know you found them too. As it fades away into the altar, and there is no more purple smoke, and you no longer feel the coldness.
Not here. Thought here of all places you'd be gone.
Did the rest of us see that?
You saw a purple form, however, you didn't hear any of this.
So that was that purple smoke.
Roll me a history, Gaboin.
I was like, Gaboin, what was that? But
I'm not sure he knows.
yeah.
18 on history.
Gaboin, what was that?
Nice.
It was weird.
I don't say that jollyfully.
You've heard stories of this.
Indeed, I have.
Okay.
Okay, I found it later. I'm not writing down. I'm writing down what just
I
happened.
was looking to see if you put it
No,
away
I'm just-
somewhere,
I'm just-
and then I was
I
like,
put
you're
it
writing
away.
things. Oh,
I have put it away.
Nice. Okay. You've all seen, you see this purple form seemingly look, and you see the green, not green, the white glows of piercing light stare at Kiboy, and then just vanish down into the floor.
Gaboin, what was that?
Well, you should not be here. Spirit failed to find rest. Thought here would be safe. To keep my eyes down to the altar. But if the wraiths are entering the chapel, then
Wraith.
I don't know what chance we have left.
What's a wraith?
I have no idea.
I need to rest.
do you
I can
think?
tell you no more now.
Do you
Roll
think
me a
that was?
nature.
Do you think that was the purple smoke that I was talking
And
about,
that
or
man
was
in
it?
the
Was
forest
it?
told us to
Was it
beware
more?
of the
Was it more of a
purple smoke.
mauve though?
Yeah.
You get 10 seconds.
Nice.
Okay, my writing page. 10 seconds, alright. Tim suddenly knows all of this as well. Hang on.
Tim learns through osmosis.
Right. Tim has some weird ways of looking. On the left.
Tim sees with his
One,
heart, not with his eyes.
2, 3,
Yeah.
4, 5, 6.
Invisible, blissful
7,
nature and rainbows
8,
and hot
9.
springs.
His little happy
10.
world.
Yeah.
I'm a little happy.
back to my knees at the altar, weak from the.
There's not much height difference.
No.
Tim cutting to the quick.
Slight tremor in his hands as he kneels about. I start muttering various prayers, a mixture of Dwarvish and Celestial, just over and over each other. I block out the sounds around me.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think these two are okay? He looks.
I don't think they are,
don't-
Tim.
They don't look too good.
I don't know what to do.
I mean, maybe we should just get them somewhere safe so they can.
I
they
think
can just
Boyne
sit down for a
has
while.
offered to stay here so the sister can rest.
Yeah.
That's true, but there's
on-
a purple smoke thing
speaks.
here.
Can we just put on ease by that smoke and to all the skeletons? Can we check on the sister?
Roll me in nature.
Oh, probably not.
What'd you roll?
I rolled a natural 6 plus 5, 11.
11.
Okay, 1 second.
You get 3
Oh,
seconds.
3.
Oh,
On the left. 1,
Oh god, I don't even know what
2, 3.
No, didn't see anything.
That's a very fleeting memory.
Yeah.
I remember that it exists.
That's a thing.
I know,
I
it's
know
a
what they
thing.
look like.
Okay, as you head into the back and find a sleeping Sister Grail, you see that her features look slightly tinged purple.
Kaboing!
Do you think we should kill her?
We didn't
Come
like
on,
killing.
we're gonna need you in here. I
No,
think sisters-
I don't, but she's purple now.
I'm hearing none of this.
I was going to say, I go
I'm gonna
back to
Okay.
get Boyne.
As you head out, you find Kaboin just sat there in front of the altar, deep in prayer.
I touch his shoulder. Kaboin. Kaboin. Kaboin, the sister needs you.
Is she alright?
Oh, she's purple.
She's.
I get to my
Does
feet.
it seem like a veiny infection-y type thing?
More like a faint tinge, as though somebody has
Oh.
shaded her features.
I walk over to the entrance to the chapel and I lock the doors.
Okay, I'm guessing that they're still inside. Oh wait, the chapel itself.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
the
Okay.
main doors.
I was going to say,
I
I
walk
don't
back
think he's
over.
walked
Dude,
out
I
of the
walk
chapel
back
and left us in
No, I'm
there.
locking you from the inside.
Okay.
Put the bolts back in.
He
Replace it.
ushers us out.
Okay.
Where is she?
In her room.
Nice. I head off after.
lead you
Okay.
to it.
That's where she
As you head inside, you
Ah.
see a seemingly peacefully resting and sleeping Sister Garel, and you hear that her breathing seems faint.
Oh, Gabrielle. How long have you been here? How long has that thing been here with you? Oh. And because I can now, because she's lying down, I place a hand on her shoulder.
Ah, gotcha!
You place a hand. Roll me an Arcana.
12.
You feel cold. As you feel the cold creep up your arm. Not an enormous chill, but enough that you notice.
Is it continuing to spread, or is it holding in
It
place?
seems to stop at the root of your elbow.
Okay, I leave my arm on. Don't know if there's anything I can do. I've been doing this a long time.
Is she okay?
I don't know. I don't know if any of us are.
What is that thing?
I check for signs of life, see whether she's stable
Roll
or
me
if
a
she's,
medicine check.
if she's fleeting. 60.
She seems alive, but there seems to be something seemingly trying to take over. Roll me a religion.
21.
At your hand, you suddenly feel from your shoulder warmth spread. flow down your arm and just seemingly overtake the cold as you see a green glow flow out of your hand into Sister Garale's shoulder, and suddenly the chill is gone and you see that the purple flecks in her feature are gone. And she seems to breathe more deeply and heavily now. That had cost you a spell slot.
I collapse exhausted.
Hey, good morning. You okay?
Oh, praise be. We're all right for now. For now.
What did you do, buddy? She looks better.
She'll be all right. Tamora has faith in us yet. So long as we do in her, we'll be all right. We'll be all right.
Oh, that's good.
Well, you best get to work. Stand back up. I take up my mason's kit.
As you suddenly hear a smash from seemingly what is the remainder of the window, and you see a small rock fly and just land in the middle of the room. This is the middle of the actual chapel, so I'm guessing you guys see it.
Mm-hmm.
How high up
I
is the window?
go to the.
About 10 feet.
Can't
And
see
it reaches up about 20 feet up.
Okay. I want to attempt to just sort of like jump and grab the end of the bottom of the window and like see if I can
Strength check, please.
see if I can look
It's
out.
going to be the slopes all over again.
It's a natural 20.
You immediately see it and just go, "Vroom," and just lift up. It's almost like you bench pressed all your days, and you're just like, yep. And you see a black cloaked figure running away.
Do I note anything else about this figure apart from that it's a black cloak? Like
Very
distinctive shoes or
tall,
anything?
extended stride. However, you don't make out anything much else beyond that.
Okay. How far away are they?
It seems about 20 feet away at this point. I wouldn't advise climbing through, though. It is still broken glass.
No, I'm
Oh,
I was
God.
debating whether or not you'd run around and...
Yeah, Tim climbs through. Oh, you're now
Okay,
with
so I come back in room to see Tim halfway up the wall.
Yeah, you just see him
looking
just
out the window.
reaching,
I
just
push up.
looking out the
I
I
window.
push off and like...
Tim,
Doom!
what you doing up? Oh, you've come down.
What did you see?
What happened?
There was a black cloaked figure. I tried going to into it through that stone, but it was running away. We're not likely to catch it.
I walk over and pick up the
But
stone.
You see there is parchment wrapped around it.
Well, it got our attention. I place it down on the ground and peel the parchment off.
As you open it out, you recognise that it is undercommon.
Okay.
And as you look over the scripture, it says, well, how many of you know undercommon?
No,
Okay.
I'm not
I know
hiding.
quite
I've laid
well.
down the middle.
Okay.
If you can't read it.
I know.
In that case, I will write
Yep.
it down. So 2 seconds.
I was gonna say, I've never had a situation with any character I've ever played where the other language they speak has come in handy.
No.
Okay. The undercommon that you can make out from this seems very well written, like such a penmanship on this.
No, I can read it.
Almost like I
Can you
wrote it
read-
myself.
Oh, you can read
No,
it.
you can
Oh,
read
you
it
both
as
know.
I'm doing this because they don't know undercommon.
Okay, alright then.
So they'll be like, I don't know what's going on.
I read it. I don't know you speak it, so I don't.
Yeah.
I don't look to you. Into the would disrespect this place like that.
What's it say?
Nothing of importance. My work remains here.
Like painting it?
I aggressively start cleaning up the benches. Like, passive aggressively,
Fair enough.
scrubbing off the moss.
I hate you both, but not too much.
Do we need to go find that guy?
Roll me a strength check.
These benches are all 13.
As you start scrubbing, you realise that layers are coming off as you just more forcefully. It's almost like you were moving with a sander on it,
Yeah.
as you're just shearing away layer after layer of the bench,
Been here a long time.
and it's mossed and like rot through.
Do we need to go after that guy?
I do what you want. I'm in no mood for that now.
Okay, buddy. Okay,
I think we need to leave him with his thoughts for a moment.
sure,
then.
he seems a little tense.
I look up the
Yes.
hole in the window and back down and scrub slightly more aggressively. It's the last good
So-
window left in this
I put
place.
my hand and try to say,
As Sister,
easy.
as Sister Garel steps out through the doorway, just seemingly well rested for her short time of actual sleep, it's like, I've not rested like that in a long time. What happened to the window?
Oh, a guy threw a brick through it.
Not again.
Again?
Always someone throwing things into this place. Such disrespect. We were well regarded. We were known to help. We were known to be there as solace for those who visited.
We still can be.
Did any of the other things we're throwing through have any notes or messages on them or anything like that?
No, they were just malicious acts. Why did that one
Maybe
have
this
a?
one served a
Does that have a
purpose.
note?
Yeah, I had a note on it. But I
Unless you
just-
picked it up,
pass
it's
it
on the
out?
floor.
It's not. Oh yeah, it's on the
rolled
yeah.
it across the floor.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
on the
she
floor.
did.
Yeah.
She looks at the note. Madame Santon. Again.
You can read this.
I am well known.
As are we all.
True.
She has a grievance with this place.
Madame Thornton disregards everything in this place. She believes herself better than this entire town.
The town I don't mind.
She has, what is the word? The delusions of grandeur.
Aye.
Is her house the one with the cloud over it?
No. That is the Sender Manor. That is not where Helia goes. She will not go near there.
Why not?
No one does. That is where, that is where Lord Tresenda resided. He does not anymore. She spits on the floor. Curse his name.
I'm much of an
I'm
agreement.
sorry
but
I
I
asked.
haven't been listening to any of it. I'm much of an agreement. Just out of.
Do you know where the inn is?
Tresenda was a fool. Tresenda was a fool that destroyed this place. Centuries ago. But that is for another day. Your queries, your questions?
Do you know where the Stonehill Inn is?
Yes, it is. It is just out past on the hill, next to the orchard.
Okay, thank you. Do you know of anything to be, well, apart from people in red, anything to be wary of?
The purple lady. Be wary of her.
Mr.
Anything
Thornton.
anything particular?
That she has some interest in you is not a good sign. Have you talked to her yet?
No.
No.
And that is a worse sign. If she has not met you and yet has interest in you, that cannot bode well. I promise you that will not end well.
Just to clarify, this purple lady, would you say she's more of a purple or more of a mauve?
Doesn't.
Because, no, well, we met a guy who was purple, but he said he was mauve.
She places her hand and just gives you a sorry smile. She likes to wear purple.
Oh, she's not actually purple?
No, why would she be?
We met purple people.
And what did you do with them?
Nothing. They talked at us and they said a lot, but also didn't say much at all, if you know what I mean.
One of them warned us of purple smoke.
But then
Oh,
he
did
made
he?
something into purple smoke.
I'm sure he did. I'm sure that he was very, very, very
I didn't
gracious.
I didn't mention he.
I
What do you know of him?
who you speak of. The creature in the forest. He hounds us all. He is a threat.
What about the one with the green hair?
That is Orville. He is Lady Thornton's butler.
Are they related?
I hope not. That vermin that lives in the forest, that is an undead blight.
Oh. Well, that's unfortunate.
He has feasted on many people who go out into the forest. Some of which being my own people.
Well, he didn't seem hungry when we were there.
Tim, was it? She once again places her hand on you and you just feel a calming touch. Vampires cannot be trusted.
Oh. Oh dear. He didn't seem too mean, but okay.
That's always their charm, though, isn't it? Lure you in close.
Exactly.
Is that why you kept the bodies in here?
Yes. I will not bury them outside there where they can be sullied.
I respect that.
Mm-hmm.
Has he ever stepped foot in this place?
Never.
Then he
He
never
has
will.
never set foot in Phandalin. His domain lies outside. But I would say go to the Stone Hill Inn. You may find allies there. Somebody who may wish to help you. Not this Orville though. Don't trust him.
I wouldn't trust anyone outside there. I found all the help I need.
I appreciate your respect. As she just looks towards the skeletons. Was something here?
Something was.
Purple smoke thing,
Purple smoke.
and then you turned purple, but then
She
White
looked.
eyes.
She
then
looks down.
Kiboyne was green, and then you went purple.
Thank you for healing.
The very spirit tried to get into those bodies.
What?
Tamora pushed him out of you as well. We should be thankful in our prayers tonight.
I will not be resting again for a long time. As you just see her close her eyes, and then suddenly a green sheen seems to come across each of the windows. Nothing else enters this place. As you see, just one of her hairs just turns white.
Is there any way we can help you with your magic when? Because I can see right there the aging.
It is the cost of spending without money.
Well, I pull out all of the counters you gave me earlier. One by one, set them down at the base of the altar.
There's a heavy
Can't remember how many there were.
forge from each of the heavy clink of coin, and she looks at it. You are such a blessing to us.
You must keep it safe though. If those guards get wind of the cash you have here, coin, they will not leave it alone.
It will be kept safe. All those with an evil heart cannot enter here now.
I've done well. Tamora is proud.
Thank you. And she takes the coins and just holds them lovingly. There is hope.
There is always hope. Sometimes we just can't see it.
Indeed. Sometimes it is hard to find it.
But now we're here. I trust we can see it again.
Thank you. You are all welcome here if you need help, need shelter, anything. I will be happy to help you.
Thank you, sister.
Thank you.
Do you know of any place in town where there's potential to buy supplies, as in incense, coal, ash?
There is the
And what
Barthons.
on?
Barthons is pretty good for that.
The place we
Oh,
went
you were
last.
just yeah.
There's also the Alliance Shield Costa, but that is more a weapons place.
Mm-hmm.
And I wouldn't recommend the other place that you could check. The Phandalin Miners Exchange, don't go there. Madame Santon runs that.
Thank you for the heads up.
Are there any stairs in the chapel? Are they up there? No bells.
No seemingly second floor.
That ends my potential action.
Okay.
It's fine.
What time is it now?
Time is it? It is.
No, like in
No.
in
Oh,
Okay.
oh.
in the game,
You
in the
meant to-
game, in the game.
My
I've got a
apologies.
clock
I
in
went
front of
meta
me.
on this. Sorry. At this point, it's about midday lunchtime.
Okay.
I'm kind of hungry, guys.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
Smelled some like really nice meat over
Nope,
here.
we're not going to touch that.
What?
Doesn't matter.
I'm not oblivious to that.
You know,
Alistair.
you just made me a
Alistair.
bit hungry.
Stop.
I'm starting to get a little peckish. You know, maybe we could get something to eat somewhere.
Yeah.
You will probably find that this is Stonehill. They like their apple pies.
ooh, apple pie.
That sounds nice.
Yes.
The apples get through fresh.
The orchard is right next door.
It seems not a lot else gets in here.
No evil shall enter this place. I promise you that.
So
Enjoy
then-
the Edamarth apple pies. They are good.
Okay, I mean, shall we
When was
get
the last
some
time you ate?
I have my sustenance. The God preserves me.
Aye. As does us.
Like a
That's
pickle.
all.
Still,
As us.
a nice bit of bacon would be nice.
We could bring you some.
You have done me too many kindnesses. It would be too much to ask of you to bring me some.
Nothing is too much.
Thank you.
Should I hold you to that?
Yeah, she is. Oh, well.
As am I.
I'm trying to be nice.
I was wondering, just with your innate wisdom,
You flatter me.
with things we've encountered before, I was wondering if you would help, because we've gained some items we're not too sure on what they are and what they. Bring forth this. So and the.
Where do you place
Tim,
it?
it's, I'm just. I bring out the potion.
Okay.
And Tim has one as well, and I've got this jade statue of a frog. I was wondering if you know
That is nothing. That is a bubble.
trinket.
A bubble, a trinket, if you will.
Okay. Just wondering if you know anything about these, or if these are not your area of expertise.
I am no chemist.
Alright.
I know how to heal. That is all.
Okay. Alright. Thank you very much.
Is there not something else she should be looking at?
Point.
Is there?
I bring out the glove. And I just unfold it. This is-
Christ.
It's magical.
As she takes
Ability.
she takes the glove into her hands and just seemingly kind of just runs the silk.
I wouldn't put it on.
Okay.
Has magical tendencies.
I think she can see that.
And one
Just-
of our friends
just
may
more
or may
on
not have
cautious.
been in it.
This is dangerous. Be careful if you use it. She hands it back to you.
Thank you. Fold it and put it back in the bag.
Okay, what would you guys like to do?
What was the name of the material shop? The The place we went to.
Bath.
Bath, I can never remember it.
Bath and
Bath
provisions.
yeah. See if I can head back to there with or without everyone.
Mhm.
Well,
Yeah.
I unlock the door for you to leave.
Oh, thank you.
You stay.
maybe we could meet back at the Stonehill Inn for some lunch. I mean, I do still want to find a blacksmith here, but if there's anyone who could come with me, because I don't really know my way around the town.
I'll
so
come with
much.
you.
Oh, okay, thank you, Sheila.
You're welcome. Not that I really know that. But
Sometimes, sometimes
We'll
people
work.
get a bit scared when they see me, you know.
Mhm.
So, you know.
Yeah,
I will
sometimes-
stick together. 'Cause
Yeah,
I don't think they've seen me in this place either.
Kaboyne, are you going to stay here for a bit, or would you
I
like
feel it is my duty to remain here.
Okay. Do you want us
If you
to?
need me, it won't be hard to find me.
Do you want us to bring you anything?
I'll be fine.
Okay.
Not even an apple pie.
If you could perhaps find some bacon.
Of course.
Certainly.
Sure.
Should we just come with you two? I'll come with you to the
Sure,
blacksmith.
if you
We'll
like.
go.
and
We'll
then
both go to each
then
place.
we'll
Yeah.
go-
Or
Yeah,
to each
Yeah,
place.
sure.
No, let's go to blacksmith first.
Let's go out and see
Yeah.
if we
Lie
can
into
find a
something.
blacksmith.
I'm gonna take this time where they're gone to attempt to, with my limited masonry skills, clean up the stonework of the building.
Okay.
I can't reach particularly high up it.
Yeah, you,
Yeah.
you,
I
won't,
can
you,
clean
won't,
the base level.
you won't get very far, but
Yeah, no, I
Right.
Yeah.
that's my downtime objective now.
Yeah.
Is to clean up the chapel.
Okay. So yeah.
I
Well,
can't
what are you
replace
guys
anything,
going to
but I
do?
can clean it.
Taking
Okay,
it
We're
We're
gonna
going
go
with
to
Tim to
the
the-
blacksmith and then Bathins.
Okay.
No
So-
more fire.
Not really
As you
far.
find yourself at, you wander through, and then you find a seemingly solidly stone building. Like it's almost like a pillbox, except larger, as it seems to be almost oval shaped. And you don't see any windows, and you see it's slightly barbed along the roof of it. And you see no wood, nothing elaborate, just simple, just brick stonework inlaid throughout to make a solid stone block. And on the sign you see Lion Shield Costa. Would you like to go in the door?
Is it open?
You push it slightly and it seems to be open. As you step through, deck save please.
Not great. 11.
Okay, as you fire it off, you just hear chung funk, and you take
Oh god.
Right.
How much health are you at?
5 damage as a crossbow bolt goes skimming past your face and just shearing half your cheek off. Here's another one for you, you stupid red brains! Hello
Tim.
there.
Tim.
As you rear your head past the door, you see a seemingly very shortish,
Yeah.
red shock-haired girl stood there with a crossbow levelled at you.
So, we're not.
Yeah, no red band.
I can't help you.
No, we're
No.
not.
I kind of just wave my hand like
Oh,
just so
I-
like
You sure you're not red brains?
Yeah.
positive.
You look
I'm wearing blue.
like a red brown.
Yeah, alright. She lowers down her crossbow. Sorry about that. Chucks you a bottle. Here.
Do I catch it?
Dex save.
Ah.
9.
You catch it in your hands and you look at it. It's seemingly a bottle of green liquid.
What is this?
It's a healing potion. Use it. I'm not here to do everything for you, but
Is
that,
it the
that
same- is it
damage
the
is
same
mine
green?
and my mistake.
Is it as familiar?
Is it a
Is it familiar green?
Does it look, does it
Oh
look,
no!
does it
Oh,
look
he's
like,
already. Okay, I thought it was
He's
behind.
Does
us.
it look like this green? But,
Oh yeah, that's right. You've got one. Yeah, looks like that.
I didn't bring.
Okay.
I thought we were only going to get
I-
those ones.
I don't drink it. I just chuck it away. So,
Yeah, it's the only freebie
Thank
you're going to get though.
appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm glad you're listening.
So,
So, what do you want? Never seen you round here.
well, I was looking for a smith.
As you see her just hop and then seemingly just drop to her forehead is about the height of the desk. Yeah. Now what do you want? As she walks past and you see a very diminutive, seemingly gnomish girl.
Oh, hey, you're very tiny.
And you're very tall, but we all have our weaknesses.
Oh, it's not necessarily a weakness. You can get many places at people.
I think the
seeing, I
ceiling would
guess.
argue, big guy.
Well, I got this. I got this, and I pull out the 2 halves of a turtle shell
Mm-hmm.
that I place on the desk.
You place them, and then she looks at that. Ooh. What do you do to piss you off?
Oh well, this belonged to my granddaddy.
Your poor granddaddy. What'd your granddaddy do to piss you off?
Oh yeah, I didn't do it to him. It's
Why you got it then?
It was an heirloom, and
Ah.
we found it at the riverbank.
Right. Okay.
Without the rest of him. My daddy, he had this idea that maybe if someone was talented enough, they could maybe turn it into a shield, and then I could always carry a part of him with me.
Well, could be talented enough. I don't know. I mean, what kind of coinage you got? It's a little quid pro quo.
Well, I
Just
don't know.
looking over it, lifting, and just looking at the dimensions of it.
That means something for something, Tim.
I've got this.
Strange enough, this guy's smart.
I've got this thing. I don't know how much it is.
Not in the right situation.
What are you placing down?
My coin pouch, which has only what you gave me, which is 120 copper and 22 silver.
She looks inside.
I don't know how much that is.
It's that special value called not enough.
Is it that special value called not enough you shot me with a crossbow?
It's that special value called I threw you a healing potion. Nice try.
I take out the healing potion and I put it back on the desk.
Roll me persuasion with disadvantage.
Not gonna go well. Nope. There's a natural 20 and a 2.
Oh.
Do you have any
Almost a
modifier on
1.
persuasion?
At least it
I do. I think I have like. What do I have on my persuasion?
As you just see her
It's,
reach for a crossbow, like I've got a second one if you want it.
Come on.
Just checking the modifier.
Checking the modifier.
Let's.
It's a 4
Yeah.
total.
Yeah, she's not having it.
Well, how much more will it be then?
I think there needs to be a different colour in this pouch, maybe some gold
I'll
or
take the
something.
healing potion back.
Good boy.
I mean, how much of the gold?
Maybe about 100 gold.
Is that a lot of gold?
Yeah,
Oh,
we don't have that right now.
okay.
If you want me to make this up for you, I can do it for 100 gold.
Well, how about
In the meantime, if you want some stuff, I can sell you a weapon. As she gestures
How about
towards her shelves, and there is adornments of swords, knives, sickles, a couple scythes. She seems to be tooled out for weaponry.
No, that's okay.
You poor sad delusional fella. What can I do for you two
You
then?
need to be mean, is there?
Oh, there's every need to be mean in this place.
Is there now?
That crossbow was to make sure that a bit bent didn't come in, because Lord knows they've tried before. As she just gestures, and she's got a big assortment of red cloaks on her wall.
Is she still pointing the crossbow at me?
No,
Where is it?
it's pointed down at the floor.
So you don't like the red brands either then?
No, I don't.
What? Like, I know they've come into the town, but do you know why?
No idea their purpose. I just know they're bad for business, they don't help out, and they try to take over. Strangely enough, they ain't got in here yet.
You seem like a gnome that can handle yourself.
That is very true. I can do that. So, anything I can get you to? Any weaponry at all? You look like you need to look after yourself.
I think they can look after
I'm
themselves
not
just
But
fine.
Just don't
do
really use
you
them.
purchase things from people as well, coming to trade?
Depends on what it is.
I just got a
As she just kind of looks over that stuff that you have on your back, she's like, depends on what it is.
Depends on this. Is
What's
what I
it?
got to offer. Little Peter Jade. I've never.
And say this.
Yeah.
How big is this
Oh,
metal
yeah.
statue?
It's about like
Oh,
You can
I
hold
thought
it
it was
in
like
hand.
that.
Like a
I was
paper,
like,
no, no,
like
you
a
can hold it in
paperweight
your
kind
hand.
of
Okay.
size.
yeah.
So this Jade, I'm holding it by the end.
Yeah, you're holding it and you're like, you're not very good at it.
You're gonna drop it. Isn't it?
He's like, okay, maybe I should. No. Jade
Okay.
ornament. I was wondering if you had any interest in purchasing.
Strangely enough, I have
anything.
no interest in jewellery.
Thought so. Thought I'd ask.
I'll tell you who might be able to help you though. That Thornton lady, she might be able to help you.
Oh,
She
great.
has a nice interest in these trinkets and such.
What do you know of the Madam Thornton?
She's a very shrewd businesswoman. I know that much.
Have you had any qualms with her?
Qualms? No. Meetings with her? No.
Okay.
She sticks to hers, I stick to mine. I shot her Orville and ain't seen him since, so I'm assuming he's dead.
Sorry, you
Crossbow bolt through the head usually does the trick.
you shot Orville.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a dead guy now, isn't he?
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe he
I think-
always was a dead guy.
Yeah. Well, he all seemed weird with his brown slick back hair.
Okay.
Oh.
I don't get out of this place very often.
Yeah.
I can tell.
Right, I believe our business, well, lack of business is concluded.
I think it is.
So long as everything's calm with you, come back when you got 100 gold. Maybe I can sort you out with your grandpappy.
Sorry, what was your name?
My name? It's Lenine. Lenine Greywind. It's a good name to have, I'm sure.
Reload the crossbow bolt already loaded.
Yeah, it's always just
Yeah,
drop on
as
the
she-
ground.
You're
as she-
always
three
waiting
bolts.
for the
I
red
know
brands.
3 bolts from his one
As
crossbow.
she reloaded, she went, oh, whoops, and it just fired off into the ceiling.
Oh dear.
Like 3.
It's stone.
Force of habit.
We'll trigger
Yeah.
happy there.
I seem to keep forgetting that I've got these ready.
Maybe instead of having the finger on the trigger, maybe have a.
Oh, it's not on the trigger.
Okay. That thing is even more terrifying.
Hey, I like to keep hold of razor wind. It's a fun little thing.
Razor wind.
Yeah, it keeps me safe. And now I razor wind.
I think her business is done.
Yeah.
I think it might be too. I need to go fix that hole. Best of luck to you though. Hope you find something that you're looking for. Good luck with your granddaddies.
Bye.
Thank you.
Come on, Tim. We'll be back.
I'll let these guys leave first,
Okay.
and then I straighten my way out. And then I close the door, and then I want to turn the handle just as hard as I possibly can.
Strength check, please.
I mean, it's an 18.
As you twist it, you hear. As now it's kind of bent around the size of your clenched fist, and it is now a bent doorway, and you're just like, how am I gonna leave?
I don't know. Maybe you can pay someone to fix it.
Tim. You suddenly hear. Dex save, please.
Natural 1.
Oh dear. As
You're gonna need that potion.
As the door knob is completely blown off of the door, and the crossbow bolt goes and shears through the shattered wood, it goes into your sternum for another 1 damage.
How are you looking?
Let's just say a lot of the impact was taken by the door.
You were hit by door shrapnel more so than
How
actually.
you doing, buddy?
Fine. Fine.
Fine.
Yeah.
He's got like a big wound in his chest, but he's fine.
I just pull it out and go, I want that back. Chuck it through,
You throw it through the hole.
and leave.
Thank you!
Alistair, what did that note say?
It's good thing you've got the note on me. Cause
Yeah.
you have perfect memory, don't you? So you're okay.
Yeah. It's so
It's accurate.
yeah. Go says go to Stonehill Inn. The Purple Lady has a job for you. Orville.
And Tim, the man you saw running away was wearing a black cloak.
What? Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I might be able to track him. I think he had feet.
I don't think I don't have a good feeling about this.
I need a moment. Okay, I'm good.
I'm just stumbling down stoneware. I'm
Oh,
having a great time.
I think
You have such a
I'm
somehow
having
you're,
an awful time. but
you're
it's
having a
great.
simplistic life right now.
Yeah.
He's into the rustic.
I mean, oh,
That will be.
I mean, I know
Yeah.
we're going towards the inn anyway, but I have strong reservations about this
Yeah,
now.
me too. Yeah.
I mean, I
You
believe
did hear her say she killed Orville, right?
Yeah,
sometimes
she
you do
did,
have to
right
make
through the head.
reservations at the inn.
and we saw
We
him.
saw him yesterday.
Yep.
Yesterday.
Today.
Today.
we got
Oh,
mixed up,
well, yeah. Okay, yeah.
Earlier.
Did we?
Yeah.
This morning,
We did.
Oh,
He was smiling at us right before we went into the.
and he had a black cloak.
friendly chap. He had a black cloak.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, so you think maybe he was the one with the black cloak running away who threw the note that said it was from him?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's just
Spot-
go to
spot
the
on.
inn. Let's just go to
Can
the
we
inn.
Maybe let's go find him and see why.
What's the worst that could happen?
We could all die.
Thanks,
And then-
Tim. That's not helping.
And then be resurrected by a vampire in the woods.
Yeah, clearly that's
Be
what's going to
slaves
happen.
to him.
You know what?
for
I'm
all
feeling a sudden
eternity.
urge to go back to Bartha's and prolong this.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You wanted to go to Bartham's anyway. Yeah. Let's go to Bartham's first.
Now, you came back to step outside, man. What's going on?
Just,
We came back to step outside.
Yeah, sure.
Step up. Thank you.
just for rabbit, I want to see if I want to get. What does I need to get?
Can you remember?
Charcoal, incense, and herbs, and a brass brazier. I need 10 gold's worth, and I have. How much gold do I have?
I'm guessing less than that.
Yeah, I have 7 gold. Bollocks.
7
7 gold, 22 silver, and 120 copper pieces.
Nope.
Yeah, no, that's not gonna happen. Okay, then we'll skip that.
Does
then.
that not add up to 10
No.
gold?
No, it's is
20
it
20
100 silver pieces for a gold coin, isn't it?
It's
Or
10 silver for a gold, 100 copper for a gold.
Oh, I've got enough then.
Yeah.
I've got. I can do
You've
that.
just got enough.
Yeah,
Just
I've
got
got
enough.
20 copper left. That's it.
Hello, what can I do for you?
I just I bring out the list. I was like just.
He reads
herbs
the
and-
list.
Yeah.
You've got some expensive taste. So long as you can pay for it, it shouldn't be a problem.
It's just like just bring out just one of those annoying customers. Just like just so much.
Just
change.
drop all the change.
I don't drop. I'm not that mean. I just like
He just looks at you like you're the worst kind of person, aren't you?
I wouldn't do this if I had the option.
He's having a bad day.
Nice to see you've got to spread that around.
And he just collects it all.
It's not. It's organised. It's like just as much as he can.
Yeah, and he's just like, you're lucky I can count. Counts all the gold out and just like, all right then. So what are you wanting? You want some braziers? You want some incense or something?
Charcoal, incense, herbs, and a brass brazier.
Just reaches under, goes behind the table, brings out big assortment of stuff, and plonks it down.
All right, there is 10 gold's worth.
Thank you very much.
You're more than welcome. Now, get out.
Yep.
Right.
You're so happy to have your stuff.
Oh no, that's me like just waddle out, trying not to drop everything. Still in a sullen mood. I did almost kill a kid today.
That is true. You did almost.
That will take a long time to glaze over.
Oh, fun.
Um,
Oh dear. Right.
following,
Okay.
following
So
to the inn.
you're heading out Athens. What would you like to do now?
The inn.
We're going to have to go to the inn, aren't we?
Yeah, I think
Smelling
that's what
apple
to do.
pies.
Can we eat
And
first
death.
before we find
Yeah.
the apple lady?
Let's go. Should we go to the inn and eat there before we have a chat with her?
Sure, I think that's a good idea.
I mean, she's actually probably fine anyway. But
Yeah, she'll find. Yeah.
Should we see if
He's not going to be in.
Oh, that's true. Okay. Do you not want to go get him to bring him into the inn?
He said
he
didn't
said he
want
was
to go
going
to
to
the inn.
stay.
Oh, okay.
He said bring him back an apple pie afterwards.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Or some,
Yeah.
want some bacon.
Oh, fair enough.
That was the
Okay.
decision.
Okay, as you head towards the Stonehill Inn at the top of the hill, you see tons of apple trees seemingly growing around the sides, and a farm towards the left. And then you can make out Stone Hill Inn that's, oddly enough, made mostly of stone, with seemingly red painted wood adorning the top of it, with thatched roof and a Stone Hill Inn sign.
Right, do you reckon they call it the Stone
Oscar.
Hill Inn because it's on a hill and it's made of stone?
Oh, it's open now. Doesn't matter.
And she was waiting for an
No.
important phone call.
We just got to the inn.
Okay.
Okay. So, are you heading in?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
I'll go first this time because last time we got an arrow shot at us.
Alright. Okay, as you open up the inn, you
Very cautiously, just
warmth just
Okay.
hits your face as a smell of just warm apple pies and seemingly just meats and all kinds of dry pastries and all kinds of things just wafts into your face, and you hear the sounds of a couple of people seemingly enjoying their meals at their tables, and you see just a rather stout, portly fellow step from behind this desk, just like,
Oh, another one of them visitors. I'd like to help you, but 2 seconds. You want to come over here? I can help you. What can I do for you?
just
What can I do for you and your big fella here?
just some general fruit, apple
seems
pie
quite
bacon.
enthusiastic
Apple,
to help.
apple pie,
Now
bacon.
take a deep breath, my friend. And what can I
We
do?
would like some food.
Some food. I'd be happy to help you. I'll get you some apple pie. I'll get you some bacon. I'll get you some sausages. You'll be very happy,
It
I'm
smells
sure.
wonderful.
Oh yes, we like to have a very proper establishment in here.
As he just seems to kind of walk back, and you see as he steps, there's a pat, clink, pat, clink, pat, clink. And as you just peer over, you see he's got a metal false leg.
Sheila's gonna go find the restroom.
That's fair. Okay. As you guys head towards the tables, you see, like, just seemingly just people, villagers, that kind of thing, just enjoying their meals. Nobody particularly of notice as you seat yourselves back down.
Ease into the chair.
You plonk yourself down and it cracks the chair, and immediately you just see Toblin just step outside and just like,
Here you go. I thought you might have trouble with these seats.
and he plonks you down like a big brick.
Oh, hey, no, that's very nice of you. Thank you. It's
Nothing but the best for us adventurers, eh?
Thank you very much.
As he just walks away.
you used to be an adventurer, I guess.
Used to be, till I lost my leg.
Which
First time I went out, actually, bit disappointing. But hey, owlbears are particularly nasty.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah,
We've,
say the least.
yeah, well,
At least you didn't lose the rest of you.
that's true. I've got to be happy, and I've got to be glad that I've still got my health. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to sort you out with your fried confections.
How much are the apple pies and bacon?
You know what? You're adventurers, right?
Sure.
More or less, yes.
If you help us deal with them red brands, this meal's on the house.
Quite
I
obvious.
promise.
Does
Don't
it,
Do
pay
you
for a
promise?
meal, start a civil war.
I mean, would we be able to reach it if it's on the house?
No.
Usually it's on plates.
He's a very literal person.
What was that, sorry?
He's very literal.
No, I'm very big.
Oh, literal. I was about to say he's not little.
He's a very literal turtle. What would you call your turtle? Okay.
See, he's a turtle. He's totally a turtle person. Ain't that right? Just pats you on his shell.
Sure.
Yeah, he's a turtle. Of course he is.
How would you like us to deal with these?
My advice would be, well, speaking as one adventurer to another,
Mm-hmm.
deal with the leaders. Cut off the head of the snake and the body dies, as they say.
The leader was a snake.
Nope.
I
Less-
forgot.
Yeah.
You poor fellow. I'll get you some food and you don't worry about anything.
Thank you. You're a very pleasant fellow. I like you.
You're very kind. I like you too.
As he just waddles away and just seemingly leaves you guys to it.
Right on cue.
And so does shoe number 10.
Hello. What did I miss?
He's
He's
getting us some food. He's very nice. He's got a metal leg.
he's
Does
asked
he have
us
a
to
name?
do.
Metal
We
leg
didn't
man.
actually ask her.
He was an adventurer, but he wasn't very good at it.
Is that why he has a metal leg?
Sure.
Sorry, you were saying.
The gentleman has asked us to deal with the red brand by cutting off the head of the snake, as it were, getting the leaders, which I'm a bit uncomfortable with, hence because I want a bit of a bad side of the leaders already. Or maybe
The
more.
leader isn't-
Or maybe
isn't
more.
really a
compli-
snake.
No, it's not.
It's a metaphor.
Yes, I realised that. Tim.
Timothy was so proud of that.
But if we manage to deal with red brands, then you won't have a problem with them anymore, Alistair.
Yeah, no,
As
yeah,
long as you
yeah,
don't
that
kill
is,
and
yeah.
eat children.
I will make sure that doesn't happen.
Me too. I will
This
try
is the
and-
right slap
I will
off
try
the
and-
list of no
Has he
spells.
given us any hint as to where these leaders might be?
No, he's gone to get us a fit. So when he's back with
You hear that chink, plink, as you
He's
see
on
just
his
a
way.
huge platter of fried eggs, bacon, sausages, all kinds of different confections. And he's just like, don't worry, the apple pie will be coming later, you good old adventurers, you.
Oh, thank you
You
so
are-
much,
Thank
sir.
you.
What
so
was
you
your
are
name?
you are too kind. Thank you very much.
I can never be too kind to the people who are going to save us.
We're going to
Ye-
try our
yes.
very best. We can't promise.
He pats you on the shoulder. Do the thing no more of it. All we can ask of you is what you can do.
That's wise words. What's your name, sir?
My name is Toblin. Toblin Stonehill.
Turbin
I'm terrible with my accent.
That's
Toblin
curious
Stonehill.
middle name.
I suppose. It was my mother's middle name. She wanted to call me
I
it.
once knew a newt called
Well, I'm sure he was a very intelligent and respectable newt.
He was indeed.
Exactly.
So Isaac Newt, they called him.
I'm sure he was smart.
Did an apple fall on his head?
That's how he died.
Apple tree,
He
apple
failed.
tree, when your apples fall
I'm
on
afraid he
me.
failed to appreciate the gravity of his situation.
Unfortunately, ironically, his last words were his name.
Oh.
It's totally still at the table.
He's having a good chuckle.
Totally.
Oh.
My friends informed me that you would like us to help with the red brands
I would
and
like
take
you to
out
help
their
us.
leaders.
That would be very kind of you if you
Um,
do that.
Do you know where we'd find them?
Well, I don't know particularly where they hang out, but I don't know. I'll keep my ear to the ground. I'll let you know if I
I wouldn't keep
hear
it too close to the ground with the ear collector around.
That is true, but don't worry. Strangely enough, they don't seem to bother me much.
I think that leg might have scared them off a little bit.
That's very kind of you to say, but I think it's more the fact that I can provide them with food and warm lodgings. I mean, they more particularly hang out in the Sleeping Giant, but some of them, they don't like the accoutrement of that place, so they kind of prefer to come up here for a nice slice of apple pie. I mean, I charge them double, but still.
Good man.
Don't tell them that, otherwise I'll
Of
lose
course
my other,
not.
Otherwise I'll lose my other leg, and I'm struggling with balance as it is.
Seems doing quite well.
Oh yeah, certainly. I mean, loads of people coming in, different comers. As I say, if I don't have the money, I can't provide the food and the cider and the apple pies. I mean, it helps I'm right next to an orchard. I mean, they're quite nice to me.
So if they're very nice to you, why is it you want them gone?
I'm talking about the Eatermaths in charge of the orchard. I'm not talking about the red brands. No, they're stupid.
Oh,
Oh, and I'm gone.
Just in case.
but they're good for
Any-
your business.
As he looks around. We don't like red brands. I don't think anybody matters.
Okay. All right.
The faint moan from one guy out the back. Turns back to his drink.
Don't worry.
Is
Before
there
you-
anyone else in the inn? Sorry.
There's a couple people seemingly enjoying their food, but nothing particularly of note.
Okay, that's fine.
But don't worry, if there were red brands in here, I know I've seen enough of them. I mean, I ain't seen their leader, that Gloucester fellow, but I can guess that that'd be the guy to deal with. Deal with him, deal with that ear collector person, and maybe something might happen.
Look into it.
Yeah.
Sure.
That's my
Before
guess.
the food gets cold.
That's my guess at least now. Enjoy before it gets cold.
Is it coming? I'm assuming it's coming knife and forks and everything, not just hands. Is it hands?
He's-
So it came with
plonked
hands,
a couple.
one
No, no.
inside, one outside.
Not
He's plonked a
eating
couple like forks on the table, and he's just gone
A salad
enjoy.
balls.
That's what you can give it.
He
You can
wonders
give
if
it
it's
a trowel.
just his hands
You've
on
got a
sticks.
spade and a trowel. And
Tim's just
It's like,
As soon as the food got put on the table, you tapped in.
It's just like, that was conversation. Okay. So as you guys enjoy your meal, enjoying an actually calm moment in a place that's been full of such dangers, some of them self-inflicted.
I'm very.
You're doing great.
Yeah.
I'm like this close to an accidental meltdown, but I'm very calm.
You two are
Socially,
having
you're
identity
doing great.
crises at the moment.
Oh god.
I don't know how to deal with it.
He nearly killed a child. I nearly lost my god. There's a big difference there.
Okay, and as you guys are enjoying your meal, you hear the clang of the door opening, and in steps a fellow in a black cloak. And as he pulls back his cloak and just stands oh so proudly, he's got a handsome face, green hair, purplish flesh, and just like, it's good to have a calm day. And that's where we'll leave for this session.
dun dun dun.
Oh, well, thank you very much for watching, you guys, for another episode of Too Many 20s, and we hope to be back next session. Once again, we have to apologise for the fact that Ash isn't here this week, but he has to look after his mother. Good luck to him. And we can only hope that you guys enjoyed this episode. Have a lovely day. Bish, bash, bosh.
Walks a man in a black cloak.
I don't want to
It's
come
full
out of here
verse
ever
two.
again.